Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Night Bully Talk. We have a very, very special guest this evening, someone who we've admired for quite some time, and we've had the privilege of having on once before, but we're happy to welcome him back. So for those who are unfamiliar with this man, we will give him an opportunity to introduce himself and how he got into bullies to begin with. Go ahead and take it away, sir.
Awesome. Awesome. Marco Suarez, Suarez Bulls from Los Angeles, California. Uh, I started with the American Bully in late 2003, but I've been with the dogs, like everybody else, I guess, most of my life, but involved with the pit bulls since I was a teenager. Um, but I fall in love with the bullies in 2003, and then I got my real bully, because I had a few before, but the real one started with Paco in January of 2004. So since then, it's been a long, long road. I've been breeding all these years. I used to handle my own dogs. You name it. I think I've been in every single spot of, when it comes to of the American Bully. Been a judge for I don't know, since 2009, if I'm not mistaken. Senior judge. I used to be a senior judge for ABKC, but now I judge for many registries, WBA, IBKC, BRCG, EBKC from Italy,
Wow.
WBRK from France, and South African clubs, and so I guess I freelance when it comes to judging.
Yeah.
Well, with your years of experience, that makes perfect sense. I mean, you've been here since the beginning, and it's crazy. When you were creating these dogs, it is intense. And a lot of people don't know this, and they're going to learn today. Just the big impact you have had, not just, as you've said, through judging and handling, but your breeding program is this wild, seemingly unsung hero. Which is because you and I have had discussions about this, and to find out how deep your blood runs, and so many, like even national winners, is intense. It's insane. So I was wondering if you would be willing to kind of dive into that a little bit.
Sure thing. Hey, just before you do that, I got a question.
Hit it, Bruce. Let's go.
No, was that the Paco off of Cairo, your first dog?
It was actually grandson of Cairo. It was the son of Little Cairo, which was well known as a Raw, like Little Raw.
That was Dave Wilson dog.
Wow.
Little Raw was Dave Wilson dog. That's right. Okay, I got you. I remember that dog. I remember that dog. That's why I had to ask you. So he was off a Little Raw. I got you.
Yes, he was off a Little Raw. Yeah, and I started my career as a showman, I should say, with him.
Yeah.
He became the very first male champion in the history of the American Bully. Before even ABK.
What year was that, Marco?
Actually, that was 2004 with BKC first, and later in 2000 with BKC, he became the first champion and first grand champion, and then with ABKC later in time, became the very first champion in 2007. 6 or 7.
Single digits are blowing my mind. I love it.
So, and then, I had many, I I didn't think I was going to engage in such a way, but it got in my veins, and we ran without stopping for. I mean, I'm talking showing like weekend after weekend, and hardly ever will miss anything. Back then, easy for 11 years, nonstop.
Wow.
Florida,
God.
Jersey, New York, Texas,
That
you
is
name it.
unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I used to basically live in hotels back then. I didn't have children, so I was able to do that.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
when you
Man.
start off with a bang like you did and have the first ever champion and grand champion in the two main bully registries at that time, I mean, that's kind of motivating.
yeah. Honestly, it was a beautiful feeling. You know,
I can
it
imagine.
was a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And then later we start breeding, and we got other dogs that became very well known, and with these dogs, people don't know today, of course, but if they
Yeah.
check their pedigree, a lot of these dogs, they paved the road of the dogs today. And
Yep.
still today, many people don't know that some of the national winners, not from 10 years ago or 20 years ago, national winners of the later years,
Yeah.
their offsprings, I mean, the parents, the father is, from my yard and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So, like the bear, you know, what's the name of this beautiful dog? Denzel. There's
Denzel. Yeah.
quite a few.
Yeah.
Victorious, and then every national from many nationals. I stopped showing in 2014 because I engaged in my own registry back then. So I stopped.
Right.
And I stopped for quite a few years while it was going on. We were doing very good with that. That's a different story. Um, you know, um, but for all those years, yeah, we had national winners, like many dogs, and people don't know that, they come from a yard,
Yeah.
many, many. I mean, we're talking about even champions from like they were not, obviously they didn't carry my kennel name because they used my stats,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. And one thing to take in consideration is that my dogs were close to the public all these years. So it's not like I make my dogs like I start them out to half of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
14 years, my dogs were close to the public.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was like not like a gigantic production, but selective production in such way that they, end up being on the roots of, 11 of 17 national champions,
Well, with that thing they're doing now, where breeders can get medals for uh,
They're
you
impaired.
know co-production and production accomplishments. I don't think it would be very hard for you to take. Well, we lost him.
I don't know.
Yeah, he'll come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say the medals that they're handing out to breeders now. I just heard about this. I don't know where the hell I've been, but uh, let's
And you know
see.
what, man? I kind of remember him. He was in the elite edge group too. I'm gonna ask him that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
There he
There he
is.
sorry.
is.
Hey.
Somebody was calling. I'm sorry, and kept cutting it.
It's
I didn't know
okay.
how to,
I
cut
was
it.
saying
That's
with
right.
the thing they're doing now, handing out medals to like breeders for co-productions and production accomplishments, where like you can be a bronze or a silver or a gold medal breeder
Mm-hmm.
as like a stature for breeders. That ABKC, and I don't think they're the only ones doing it, but I know they're doing it. I just heard about this. I don't know if everybody knows about it or not. Do y'all know anything about it?
No, to be honest, no.
Yeah, Peter Stoiber actually just told me about it, where they just started doing this thing um, where if you've had co-productions, like your stud, you studded in somebody's breeding, and their dogs become grand champions. Well, that would be a grand champion co-production of yours,
Right.
even though it's their production. And then, like, you have also champions and grand champions of your own productions, in-house productions, and things like that. And you can win like a bronze, silver, and gold medal award as a breeder
Oh,
to like hang your hat on for stature as a breeder. I guess this is a new thing that I just heard about it. So
that
it
would be
wouldn't be hard for you to go all the way with that, I'm sure.
that would be super nice. But I think it would
Yeah,
be even more fair if your kennel did not produce thousands of dogs, and then
I know.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because of course, if I produce 1 million dogs a year, something is gonna come out good.
something,
Oh,
right?
right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Statistically speaking, yes.
and I'm gonna
Yeah.
overflow to the point where Marco is gonna be number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
strength in
But
numbers, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
to me, it's like quality. And if they have the access, of course, they have as a registry to see how many you have produced
Yeah.
and put in the scale. Okay.
Did I hear you say that you kind of been picky about, like, you've always kind of tried to keep your dogs exclusive? I picked up on that earlier. You were
Yeah.
saying, you've never been just like wide open, 10,000 stud credits to one dog,
No, my brother. Even when I took, okay, let me explain this. Like 2007, the very first nationals, I went to fight the final with half pint. And that was a daughter of Paco. And well, no, I'm getting off the subject. I have so much in my head.
Go ahead. You're all good.
Answer-
That's what we do.
Answering that,
That's what we do.
it's like in 2000, even my national winner, Master Shifu, he was never open to the public.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and if he was open to the public, brother, I would have a maybe a couple houses. You know how it is when you win a national. Everybody wants to use the dog. And the person who knows dogs and the person who doesn't know dogs, they want your dog because it's a national winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was close to the public. Master Shifu had maybe 6 or 7 breedings total, being a
Wow.
national winner.
Yeah.
Man, that's
I
awesome,
only
man.
opened Master Shifu to like a couple of my friends,
Yeah.
not even like a business type of thing, friends that. So I was always very jealous with that kind of stuff. To some people, I'm good for the breed, and for some people, I'm not, because I never really share like these dogs, that at that time were like given the time of the day. I recently, like I think last year, I opened my dogs after so many years, and so just so I can like, because I had friends and they're like, man, for years I've been like, I follow you or I had your puppies, but I wanted to use your dog. I have a great grandchild of a dog that I got from you many years ago, and I would like to go back to the blood and stuff like that. So I started to get a lot of that stuff. And I
Yeah.
told my wife, let's open the kennel for, a year.
Nice.
Yeah, see where it goes.
So we just did that last year. So, but yeah, my kennel was close to the public. I was competing. I was active. I was judging, very involved, in our community, but my dogs were close. So that's the difference. That's why when you're saying like, if there's medals, okay, it would be fair if like, okay, like how often, you
I'd like to know the details. Like I said, literally just heard about it today. They may have something in there that calculates that as well. I wouldn't surprise me if they don't, but it'd be better if they did. I literally just heard about it, so I'm interested though to see. And in my mind, like you said, that's another notch in the belt there if you kept it tight, all that time. So
Yeah, I think that would make a difference, a serious difference, with a superstar that it was open all the time for years and years and years.
Yeah.
and a superstar, or just a nice dog that produce very good dogs, and they make an impact in the history of the American Bully, and they were close to the public. It's just like selective
Yes.
breeding. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And with this, it's not that I didn't have a lot of dogs. I had a lot of dogs back then, way more than now, but they were close.
Yeah.
They were my private joy. I mean,
So
I
did you
had.
ever have a dog? I know you've had so many, man. And like, it may be an easy answer, it may not. But did you ever have one that to you was just that dog, your favorite dog, one that you knew all along that this dog is different? I know you've had a bunch, man. That's probably a tough question, but
Yeah, he's like,
Uh,
oh,
I had.
Rolodex.
It's tough. Because to me, I
like
don't
a
know.
one that
Maybe this
one
is
that
not for
started it
everybody.
all or headed in a different direction or
Yeah, but see, I don't know. To me, I'm never pleased. So
right.
Yeah.
I'm never pleased. I'm very I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if it's proper to use the word.
Perfectionist.
Very, very like,
Perfectionist.
yeah,
Yes.
and to the point that
Mm-hmm.
like it takes my sleep away, and people tells me, oh, this guy is beautiful, and or like dogs that won nationals or win the champion class in
Mm-hmm.
nationals, or you know uh and people talk about them like they're like gold, and to me I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Still working on
you
it.
no,
Not yet.
or
Not yet.
yeah, or if you're nice to me, please stop it, because I know the
Mm-hmm.
flaws
Yeah.
of dogs.
Yeah.
So it's a never ending thing, and that's a beautiful thing. You can get
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
to perfection, but never perfection.
100%.
Only God,
Mm-hmm.
there's only
Yeah.
God
The
perfect.
pursuit. The
Yeah.
pursuit will never end.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exciting because you can get
Yeah.
close,
Exactly.
but it's unreachable. And when I hear people and they think that their dog is perfect, and I hear some well-known people and say, no, 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 there is perfection. Well, good for them if they feel that.
Yeah.
For me, for real, like from my heart,
Really?
good
Yeah.
for them. I
I
guess it gives
agree.
them
Be
peace. I guess
realistic.
it gives them peace to think that they found perfection, and they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, Good. But to me, it's a never-ending thing. I mean, if you ask me which ones were your best dogs, all of them and none of them. you know,
I like that. I
I
like
like
that
that
I
answer. I
mean, that's
answer.
respect
like the
that.
best
Yeah.
answer ever, but damn.
yeah, it's funny, guys, because I hear like when we get together at the vet or events where a little more intimate, with breeders, and they all talk about their dogs and yes,
Yeah.
this dog, that dog, and I'm like, I always have my wife like when they start to go off about the perfection of their creation,
Hmm.
man, many times I couldn't stop, and there's many people who might be listening that they know it's true. I say, man, these dogs, they need so much work. It's I'm glad you guys see it like that, but it's not like that in my kennel.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like
I like that, man, because to me, in my mind, it's like the one thing that we're always trying to do is train our eye to what we have and don't have and how we're gonna get it, and it
Mm-hmm.
just seems like something to me would be never ending. You're always you could do this, you could do that, you can bring in this, you can tighten that, so
yeah, it's exciting. I mean, you make a super beautiful dog. It can have like the most beautiful head shape, the right neck, the right length, the right back, flat back. But maybe the front is not exactly the way it should be.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe the set of the tail, and then it's not that it's bad, but it could be better.
Right.
And so there's always something to work on. This is a breed that many people call it like a young breed. To me, it's not a young breed because we're in the 21st century, guys. A little more, and we're gonna be dealing really soon with the extraterrestrials right, in front of us. Like really. So like that's the way it is, and it's like people can fly across the the continent,
Mm-hmm.
frozen seamen to Russia, to England, to
Yeah.
whatever. We got
Yep.
the
I know.
internet. You can see the dog, live. Um, Progesterones, C-sections. We can
Mhm.
investigate the dog. We can do the koi test and know how much of the same genes he's loaded that dog or not, to be able to double up or triple up or not at all.
Right.
I don't think we are in a time where we can call it, a young breed, because what people used to do 100 years ago, it used to take them 100 years ago what it takes for us maybe freaking 8 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have
Yeah.
so much technology today,
Technology. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much, but I think we don't go forward the way we should, because the breed is not being respected. Everybody violates the breed the way they want to. Everybody does whatever they want. Everybody plays Dr. Frankenstein. And the big authorities don't want to lose money tidying this up and say, hey, I'm going to suspend your papers, or nobody does that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if they start to do that, there's going to be there are going to be other groups that they're going to create something else where they accept those people, and the good guys, they don't want to make anything really, for their effort, their time, their money, their investment, because it's easy to be bad than to be good, you know.
Yeah. They might
Yeah.
need to go back to a short time ago when, when they withheld ribbons.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was when breeding got tight. When like judge might not even hand out a first place ribbon, might hand out a first place and no second.
Yeah,
Just you
They're
know.
like, yeah, no.
it's
And to
important.
me, when you got 15 dogs in the ring and no first place, that's a heart check, man. Everybody's like, oh,
Yeah.
It is.
like
Well,
It
well,
Yeah.
is.
and the thing is Marco and I had this conversation not too long ago where, people I think have forgotten what a conformation show actually is.
that's
Yeah,
right.
It is a showcase of breeding stock, and
Breeding
the
stock,
judge's
100%.
single job, the only job they have, is to stand in that ring, assess the dogs against their respective breed standards, and literally put up the dog that they're like, that's what y'all need to be breeding towards.
Hmm.
yeah,
Ta-da! It
yeah.
really is truly that simple, but there's other things that complicate it naturally, of course. And if there's no dog in the ring that you feel is
Yeah,
close enough to the breed standard to put it up, withholding is the logical option. But then,
that's so
you know,
well put, man.
Yeah,
It's like breeders are presenting their version of the best breeding stock they can, and then the judge is confirming or denying with that decision.
absolutely.
And that's what it is to me. And it just seems like now it's like everybody wins a trophy type of thing, like where the kids do with soccer now. It's like
Yeah.
there's
Participation.
no,
there's
they're
favorite breed.
all winners and everybody. And I get that in a sense for the little kids, but what I don't get is in the dog shows where they're handing out ribbons and there's not a good dog in the ring and all. It's just gotten a little muddy there. I wish they'd tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, but this is truly what I feel, and I did seen it in the past. If you start holding ribbons like that, you stop. You don't want to be popular.
Yeah,
You're
And
people
they
not.
stop
don't.
coming.
Yeah, they don't want to
Yeah.
choose you for the other shows.
That's
Assignments.
true.
Absolutely.
It's like, no, he's too strict. No, he's too old school. He's too old fashioned. Yeah, you're gonna have all these titles, and yeah, they don't gonna select you. But if you go with the flow,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this
that is
this
that
is
is
the way of the
absolute
world,
truth.
ain't it?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's no denying. Yeah, no, there's 100%.
so yeah, yeah, I love to compete, but I have kids I have one kid still in high school, two in college, and I keep track of them, the girls, so
Yeah.
uh, um,
Absolutely.
I
and I
work.
don't know if I want to bring my dogs and be beat by a bulldog, or what I consider a bulldog. I don't know if I would be happy, you know.
It's
Um,
like, I don't need this on my blood pressure right now. I think I'm just gonna ride this one out.
I,
yeah,
I I had somebody send me a picture the other day of a dog. They said, "Man, what do you think about this XL?" And I didn't say anything. And they said, "Can you hear me?" And I said, I said, I have to admit, honestly, I thought that was an oldie.
Yes.
I
You
did
didn't.
not think that was an XL. Are you sure it's an XL? You know, like, no, it's registered as an XL. I'm like, no, it
No.
ain't but one generation away from an oldie. I don't care what it's
Yeah.
registered as.
Well, that's
It's like,
that's the concept that has been like shifting. And unfortunately, the word evolution or that the excuse of young breed has been helping for all these changes.
it's wiggle room.
Where actually these new generations have no fault on thinking that that's the real dog, because when they came in, it's what they saw.
Yeah,
And it's what that breeder told them, that this is the real thing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
what's
gonna
they saw
defend
what's selling too.
Yes,
exactly,
that's
and they're
the big
gonna
one.
and they're gonna
Yeah,
defend that with their lives, because that they're gonna believe that.
absolutely.
But
That's
for
right.
someone who comes from the past,
Hmm.
who was there before even the registries came out, and witnessed the creation of these registries and the standard, we know what the standard was made for. It was to
Yep.
make home to the American Bully that already exists.
Yeah. Okay.
No home for the American Bully of 22, 23 years ahead. You're visionary. I mean, you're making a standard for a dog 20 something years ahead? No. It was done for the dogs, and they were not accepted in UKC no more, or
Yeah.
ADBA or AKC. So they were already American Bullies. People already were feeling satisfied with, these dogs, and there were many. There were many of them. I
Yep.
mean, you got the Pacos, the Hef, the Camalis. You have many.
Remember all of them.
Okay, it wasn't done for a future dog. Okay, 20 years, 22, 24 years from now, they should look like, no. So things have changed a lot. Some registries are, doing a good job, and some don't, I guess it's easier for most of people to accommodate with, with the most flexible, the ones that are more flexible with the way they do things.
Well, with that idea in mind of the original Bully and how that would look, and I found a picture, and forgive me.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
So,
I
That's
was
awesome.
young and beautiful back then.
Young. Yes, you
No
were, Mark.
children.
so
I actually had
Yeah.
hair, and I had style. Now, no choice.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
yeah,
I'm with you. I got two girls too, man. It falls out so quick.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
It does. But
Yeah.
but no, I mean, and this is just, I mean, if you've noticed the dogs, one thing that I have always found interesting is the dogs have always been
Yes.
like, they've always
Look.
had a breed type that differentiated them from
Yes.
their predecessors, the pit bulls, the Amstaffs, the English Staffordshire Bull Terriers. Like, they have enough breed type that differentiates them. You can identify them in contrast to the other breeds that were used as their foundation. So already you can see the backbone of that in this picture from 2005.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the story.
Yeah,
Two train.
was a
That
big
literally started in your living room. That engine roared up in your living room.
Yeah, like, are you on the train, sir? Are you on the train?
So yes, I mean, look, I can tell you, I get in conversations with, the new guys, and they're like, man, but today, we got the girth that, you guys didn't have in the past. Today we have the bone. I'm like, Ron, that was there all the time. They just didn't look bulldog.
Yeah.
That was there all the time. I mean, I can mention dogs, and they were like big bone, massive, but they were not reflecting a bulldog.
Yeah.
I tell you, we have like Big Papa. I know people don't want to remember Big Papa, but Big Papa was a monster. Well put together, and he used to produce monsters. Remy Martin. Remy was a very
Remy.
Yeah.
thick
Yes.
dog. Very, very thick dog. Who Pokemon,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
monster.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
Boom Boom from Blue Nation, another monster.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we're talking about dogs and they were massive with bone, but they were very alert. They were very alive. You know, Omen,
Yeah.
that's another monster. Gadilai Legend, my God, that dog was a lion. Okay, that dog was a lion. So there always been dogs with massiveness and well balanced and well put together. You know, it's just the concept has been changing little by little, little by little, and you know, it is what it is. You know, whoever likes it like that is perfect. It's just that some of us, we just kept it traditional, just what you know,
Yeah.
what we know, what exists from the beginning, and we just faithful to that. You know, it's just that. You know, now I don't know.
So
Um,
Marco, so look, I know I was there when it started too when we was showing the UKC, right? So I was there when ABKC got started also.
yes,
And wasn't you in the Elite Edge? Wasn't you an Elite Edge member?
never, brother. I party with them,
Okay.
with all of them. They
Okay.
were all my friends, but my group was, you know, just my wife and I.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
Cause I
you
remember
know,
I remember seeing you because they only hosted the shows at first, starting out in Georgia, you know.
yes,
But I remember you, man. And you know,
yeah,
and the thing is they say still this is a young breed, which is you right, it's not a young breed anymore. But they didn't stay really with the standards. You know, they started changing around about 2010 or 2014.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? They
That was a
wasn't
big change
consistent,
in that
huh?
space. Yes,
Yeah, they weren't consistent anymore. You know, like when it first started out. And see, that's why people, I mean, it just won't seem like it won't ever get back, you know, to the standard anymore. It won't.
Well,
yeah,
the
I understand your
change
feeling.
was
I
they had
understand your feeling,
changed in
and
2014.
I understand your feeling, and I unfortunately I share it. Unfortunately, I feel the same. You know, I think it's super difficult at this point to bring that conscious about, you know, how the original dog was and the health, the functionality, um, you know, that it should be with this breed. That I think we lost a lot of it, you know, along the way. But
Yeah.
yes, since the beginning, I was with them. It's true. In the parties, I'm sure you saw me.
Yeah.
The limousines, the clubs. I was with them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, but and I was friends with all of them in a personal way. You know, going to their houses. They used to come to my house,
Yeah.
cruise, all of them, all of them. And I got along with all of them. And like even like the private stuff, I was invited. You know, like the RV trips, I was with them. I was one of the people driving it, but I never really joined the club as a
Yeah.
club.
I
You
like
know,
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I just like I just didn't want to. You know, just never was fun of anything like that ever in my life. Like so, it wasn't nothing
That's
against them
smart.
because
Very smart.
you know, because some of them were very good friends of mine until today,
Excuse me.
all the way to today. I always got along, never had a beef with no one, you know, none of them. We actually were kind of like a family, but I was like I don't know, like the younger brother, you know, just, you know,
Yeah.
you know, like it's
Yeah.
okay if he's around, you know, type of thing. But yeah, so I saw the change, as you're saying, 2010, um, 2010 it started to change. 2011 was already like the year that I saw a lot of stuff going on, you know, the movement with the exotics, and not only the movement with exotics, but the American Bully also
Yeah.
start to shift, you
Yeah.
know. 2012, I took nationals. 2010, I went against Denzel, and Denzel, son of my dog, but he took nationals. 2013, I already saw things changing to the point that I was having problems with. I was a senior judge, so I was seeing already judge choosing dogs, and they were more extreme. And in 2014, I just couldn't continue because the movement in that direction, it was too strong. And I left the ABKC in good terms. I never left fighting with no one. I just told them that it's taking a direction where it wasn't my kennel no more, and I couldn't represent that no more. So till today, I get along with everybody. I just do my own thing. I have my own friends or followings or whatever you want to call it, and I'm totally happy. I usually don't like to do this podcasts, to be honest with you. I just like to keep my stuff I don't know.
Well, we're honored to have you as a guest.
Thank you.
100%.
Yeah.
And see, look,
but guys,
Scott had hit on the question, not trying to cut you off, but Scott, I didn't want to get too far up there. He hit on the question saying that it's okay for the dogs to get bigger. I wasn't talking about the size, Scott. I was talking about the loose skin and the non-functional dogs. That's what I was trying to say, man.
Yeah.
No,
I just see
There's
this
a word
coming
for
on.
that. It's called sloppy. And
Yeah.
Well, when they were trying, like we all know, right? When they were trying to add mass to the breed, they started pulling in these mastiff traits, and it was the worst thing they could have ever done for the American Bully. It loosened the skin, it stiffened the rear, got stiff stifles, high rears, poor angulation,
just long bodies, long for no reason.
long bodies, long backs,
days.
narrow rears with no musculature, and all that loose skin, and
Yes.
it was the worst thing for the American Bully, and there nobody could have predicted it, but back then there were a few kennels that had really good marketing that took off.
Yes.
And they had dogs that if you had an American Bully and you were just the public, you had an American Bully from their program, and it was so massive.
Yeah.
It had so much massive in it, and they were everywhere. And then now the water got so muddy, and and it was too late by the time people learned what they had done.
100%. They those kennels were like the vaccine for Corona. Like we all got that, and then later we start to suffer things and we didn't have, even though we didn't get the freaking disease, but we start to get something else due to the injection.
That's
What
right.
do I have now? I have palsy. This is fantastic. Let's do this again sometime.
And nowadays it's super difficult. Like to me, every couple of years I have to outcross my dogs to put fresh genes, So I try to investigate as much as I can the dog. It does not matter what it says the pedigree, but I try to ask like who has the children, like the brothers, the sisters, So to get a real feedback of like that dog and the family tree. But it's at this point in time, it's so difficult not to have those dogs, and they kind of did mess up, the breed. It's many of them are
very, very few, man.
Yeah, super difficult, brother. Really, super difficult. And so you just have to choose, the dogs, and they have those dogs, and you don't really want them in your pedigree, like very far back in the pedigree. And they already being worked out. They're already being filtered. They're already,
So already watered down to a degree where hopefully it's not gonna rear its ugly head in those recessive genes we all love.
Yes. Still, no matter what, when you use those dogs, no matter what, every now and then they're gonna show up. Every now and then, it does not matter if it's like in the 9th generation. It happens to me. I had like litters of like 9, 10 super gorgeous dogs, and all of a sudden I have a little bulldog. and the same litter. Okay. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm always proud to
What do
say,
you do?
hey,
The pedigree again, like,
I'm always like proud to say, hey, I have 10 generations on the father, 11 generations on the mother. This is pure
Mhm.
Suarez, and then a bulldog in there, and
Yeah.
it's, it's not what I'm looking for, but I stumble with that every now and then. Things that they were not there,
That's real.
in my program at least. And I know all these dogs that I've been working
Mhm.
years.
Oh, absolutely.
Now and
Then we
then
feel like you can predict it.
you get stuff like that. Then nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. These super perfect
Yeah.
breeds, they don't talk about the stuff that they stumble with. But I think it will help a lot if people will, be
100%.
more
Well, so
sincere.
you have to hold yourself accountable for that as well, and sometimes that's the hard aspect of it is, even if it wasn't a mistake that you could have controlled, you're sitting there thinking like, I can't believe I let this happen. You got to get out of your head on that.
Yeah,
Dogs are a dog, breedings are going to happen, and not all of the dogs are going to come out the way you want. Maybe none of the dogs are going to come out the way you want in certain instances, and you're just going to have to be like, well, let's not do that again. Let's try it this way instead, and like just brush it off.
yeah,
But do the right thing. It's just it's hard. It's hard. It's got to be.
yeah. No, if you're truly trying to keep things clean, yeah, I pray a lot. Before I before I do a breeding, I'm like, God, please, for real. I'm not lying. I'm like, please.
Yeah. No, that's
Because as I have very good friends, but I know I have the people that is waiting for me to, like, stumble.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
100%.
look what I got.
Look for a crack.
Can't stand that exists, but yes, it does. It does exist every day.
Breeding's really something, man. Even in my young journey with it, it's like you can only calculate so many variables. At the end of the day, it's in God's hands. It's like you can get pretty far into probabilities, but
You can calculate all you want. You can
there's
Yeah.
just
calculate all you want. You
probabilities,
want testing
right?
and genetics and COIs, and you can do
Yeah.
all the things that you want. But every once in a while, those recessive genes gonna win.
Yeah, you can like,
Yeah.
no matter what, like I have many generations. I have dogs and they have like 10 generations top, 9 or 11 generations bottom. So I have a lot of my stuff in there, right? But when I breed out, as much as I investigate, I still every now and then you get stuff that you don't expect,
Yeah.
because you know your flaws or the things that you can lose easy, the pretty things that your dog has and you can lose easy, and the pretty things that your dog have that is like, even if you put it to a cow or to a
A
cat
chipmunk.
or chipmunk, you're gonna stamp that thing. It's gonna be there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know the
That's what
genes
I'm
that
talking about.
the genes that your dog's 100% gonna transmit. And
Yeah.
the genes, and they're like kind of wishy-washy, like sometimes it's there, you're constantly fighting to keep it. And if the other dog doesn't bring it, and on top of that has some more stuff, whatever, Mastiff or Bulldog or Chihuahua, it might,
Those
it might turn
dangerous
things,
things.
ugly, so yeah. But man, going back to the dogs, like I love, like, if we're gonna talk about like modern dogs that I like, you guys, I don't know if Amanda asked me. I think you did last time we talked on the phone. Like, what dogs do I like today?
Yes.
Yes, right. Yeah.
We like to talk a lot about longevity on this podcast because that is something that we hold near and dear to the heart, is longevity, because we feel like, in a sense, that's the proof that's in the pudding.
100%. Health.
Mm-hmm.
I proposed to a good friend of mine who owns a registry to open the books. I go, man, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to open the books, to inject the roots of the breed back in it, to gain some,
Nice. I like.
to gain some
Yeah.
health. We're talking about angulation, rear angulation, straight fronts, good bites, longevity, guys. You know,
Yeah.
awareness. These dogs are
Mhm.
like, they're not aware of shit. You know, they don't even learn their names. They're like, "Ooh," you know, like they're lost. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
but the dogs in the past, no, you had to pay attention to your dog because as good as he was like, you know, still had terrier in them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so that is gone pretty much today. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I see males
Yeah.
Yep.
like they never seen each other, and from far away they're like, you know, like they're in love with each other. Like, I'm not proposing having dogs and they wanted to fight, but I want a
Right.
dog that is
You're
gonna
hot
go like,
dogs.
are you gonna be good to me or not? You know, like,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Yeah.
respect a little bit of side eye with it.
yeah, you know, but it's important, you know, and I think I've been talking to my friend, and I don't know if he's gonna do it or not. I don't think he's gonna do it because it's, you know, he might open controversy, and I don't think he's willing to deal with
Yeah.
that. But I think it's necessary in a lot of cases where people should have the option, and it's not cheating because you're not putting another breed. If the breed was
Right.
100%.
based on Amstaff, Pitbull, Staffordshire Bull Terriers.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm not talking about Bull Terriers with the, you know, with the egg
No,
nose.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
The English
Right.
guy,
Staffordshire
the
Bulls. I'm
English
with
little monster.
Staffordshire Bulls.
Okay, if the breed comes from, you know, why not when your dog is already looking like something else, like a new breed or like a different breed? Why not bringing a nice Amstaff into it, you know,
Yeah.
and document it and say, yes, this is my F1, you know,
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
not? Why not? Why not having that option? Why not?
Yeah,
Um,
at least some of the blood where it got before it became the bully, where it was like not quite Amstaff, but like it was a little bigger, but it was not the bully yet, and it was still super clean, you know, but it was an 80-pound dog, you know, and like right there in the later years, right as they were developing the bully, those dogs were still strong.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and you know that these people got these dog, you know, these dog straws on ice. Like I don't like it makes you wonder if there are still some straws out there of some of these, you know, OGs that you're sitting there thinking like, man, to re-implement that,
I have
man,
16.
what would that do?
I
You
have
what?
You have
16 of the old school. I have Little Raw.
That's what I'm
Uh,
talking about.
I have Paco. I have Victorious. I have Checkmate.
Shifu?
I have many.
Yeah.
Many.
Nice.
You know, Toshi. Most of these dogs back in their time, um, they were the dogs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
For
absolutely. I
Yeah.
sure.
mean,
and so I kept all the frozen semen. You know, I still
Nice.
have
You
a lot of
limited
that stuff.
access and you stored them. Very,
Yeah,
very,
mhm.
very
Not
I
nicely
many
played.
people
Very
from
nice.
the
got it.
beginning. From the beginning, when people
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
want to do, you in the beginning, you will mention progesterones, and you were
Yeah,
just an idiot. People were like, progesterones, just freaking count the day, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
What days
Man,
would you hit them on, Marco? What days for AIs or natural ties? What days?
Well, my natural, I always from the beginning I did progesterones, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
That and if you were and I don't care about, you know, because many of these people are not in the business no more or in our world no more, but people will tell me,
Yeah.
hey son, you know,
son.
just use my dog on the, you know, 8th day or 9th day. You know, I've been doing this for these
Yeah.
many years, and I know my leg.
9, 11, 13.
Yeah, you know, and I will do exactly what they
Yeah.
say. You know, just for them,
Yeah.
just to take the picture, or
Just for them.
you know, but I will do a progesterone, and sometimes the bitch
Yeah.
was ready before, or the bitch
Mhm.
Yeah.
was ready way later. And
Yeah.
back then, also, people used to love to talk that if your dog throw like fake bullets, I don't know what's the word for that,
Oh,
blanks,
blanks.
blanks. And so I was
Fake
super careful
bullets.
with that. I was
I like
super
that.
careful with that. I was extremely careful with that. So nobody can say
Yeah.
shit like that. and I would send the dog, and then a month later or whatever, 5 weeks later, the guys would tell me, "Hey son, I told you, right? I told you, 9th day, blah blah blah, or 8th day. I didn't know that I did progesterones, and it was way later or earlier." But I would just like keep my mouth shut, make sure that the dog is pregnant. I even went as far as
Yeah.
sometimes I'm gonna confess this. Sometimes I used to just put my knee up, inside, in one side of the bitch, lift her up and lift
Yeah.
up with the underneath my male, so it would look like they hooked up.
Yeah.
Deep down, you're just like, this isn't happening the way you think it's happening.
Oh my God.
And the bitch was pregnant every time, brother. I have a clean record on that. So even if they're hearing, even if they're listening today, the bitches they got pregnant.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, even if they're listening today, they cannot say that their bitches, were not. They
Yeah,
did
yeah,
not.
they can't argue. They can't be mad now. Everything
You
Then
know?
listen,
happened.
but that's the product at the end of the day.
And I was
Listen,
and I
means
was
the
using out
means.
of my money, to do the progesterones. The back then was very expensive,
Yeah,
but kind of new, you know.
Yeah.
that
Hey
is
Marco, man, you
hilarious.
know what? That's crazy, man. You still got straws off of Little Row. Hey, look, I asked Dave, did he have straws on Little Row? He said no. You know
A
that?
friend of mine gave it to me actually. Little
Mm,
Raw. Um, what was the found dog? There used to be Dave and Cruz dog. No. I
I love
have
that
many.
she is reciting these to you. I
Yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
That's
You do
that's
that
my
in the
memory, brother.
background
That's
and
my hard drive. I have to have it. I have to have it
that's my
next to me.
hard drive.
That's my hard
I
drive,
love
brother.
it.
I
Oh,
tell you,
man.
Yeah,
My wife is the same thing. I'm like, babe, was it this?
Yeah,
Was it
who's that?
that?
Who's that? Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
no. Little Rizzy, she says. Little Rizzy, Little Raw, Paco, Victorious, Gargoyle, Sheep. I mean, I have all these dogs. I always,
Man, that's crazy.
In case anybody needs to know what seafood looks like.
yeah, Shifu. Who's
gosh,
that?
That bad little
Yeah,
like
yeah.
balance,
I have,
balance.
look at
many,
that.
many dogs,
Look at
brother.
that rear, man.
Yeah,
Man.
super nice dogs, very balanced, beautiful attitude. Like the right
Yeah,
disposition, the right
yeah.
disposition, very alert. I think I don't know if it's till today, but I took nationals with him with only 14 months.
Gosh,
Golly.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not shocked, but damn.
yeah, only 14
yeah,
months. Later he became he actually he blossomed way even
yeah,
like nicer.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
he was undeniable. His movement was undeniable. He
He's a
um
beautiful little thing, ain't he?
you know uh,
He's nice.
but like Victorious also, people say no, he never had bone, this his dogs, brother. Every time, okay, I want to say something, to everybody that is listening. There's a problem here. Whenever you talk too much about health or structure, functionality, smartness, they think that you old school and your dogs don't have no bone and you have
Yeah,
pitbull.
yeah. You're hitting something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. It's like, man, I openly already did it a couple times with people that they kind of say like, hey man, you still around. I'm like, man, what do you have? Bring it to my house. I'm still around. I never stopped. I never
Yeah,
Yep.
stopped. No one day. No when my grandma died. No when my cousin died. No with I lost a job. Never stopped.
that's what I'm talking about.
So it's a passion that keeps me alive. I love it. I love it. So
I have a female that it's her markings are so Caleb. That looks like that girl that I got from you. Just the markings are almost identical. I'll show you later. But
Yeah,
like it was crazy when I first seen that picture. I was like, whoa. It's funny how there's no telling just how things come down the line, but very, very similar markings on this female that I have to him.
awesome,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. So yeah, it's and in the later years, like I'm talking like maybe 3 years ago, I went out of the country. I don't want to say the country, but I went to this country, and I supposed to be training this new judge for for that registry.
Hmm.
And we start to talk, and this guy was cocky, super
Do we
cocky,
know him? I'm kidding.
super cocky. And we kept talking and talking, and he started to talk about all the beautiful freaking dogs that I know from here, from America. And
Yeah.
he started telling me that the champions and grand champions in America, they're not really the champions and grand champions because of whatever was going on here, and that actually there's the real champions are built in different countries where there's not so much like clicking, and this and that. And he started to talk about people that I know and Kennels, and brother, I got super bothered. Okay, I got super bothered, and I had to be careful because I wasn't home. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this is a
You had
country
to teach him more than just that one lesson. Oh, Lord.
yeah, and this is a country that they're not friendly with people like me, where I come from. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
because we have history, war history.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but I told the guy, I go,
Yeah.
listen, show me your dogs. This is funny. He started to show me his dogs. From third generation down, they were all my dogs.
Oh my gosh.
You're sitting there
Oh
like,
my
Oh
gosh.
shoot.
Okay, it's just that his dogs, he got it from a different country that they work my dogs there.
Yeah.
But
well, see, that's one thing that a lot of people don't know about you is you were pushing the envelope a long time ago. This whole like shipping internationally, breeding internationally, and health testing, like genetic testing. You were doing that when people were like, I don't even know what that is. What is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, if you would mention that, you would be a nerd back then, especially with that type of atmosphere. You a nerd, an idiot, like just like you wouldn't sound too good.
And they think
I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, even nowadays, some people you mention DNA and they're like, that shit doesn't work, and I'm okay, funny, okay, that's it. Like already where they are, so why to get into that?
or not.
Yeah. Why waste my
with this-
time? Why waste my time? You know everything.
Yeah, but with this guy, going back to this guy, man, he bothered me so much. And I told him, listen, you're talking about people you don't know. You're talking about dogs you don't know. You were not there.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're a new breeder. You don't know these people. You don't know their kennel. You don't know their program. You don't know what they have done for us. So it's very bad that you're talking. So that's as far as I went.
And you have my dogs.
And he's like, yeah, and today the dogs are, bigger bone and this and that. And he talked so much about some people with like, bigger bones. And I thought, I told my wife, I called from that country and I told her, listen, I'm going to show something to one particular person. And that's how I got into these big bone guys. I'm going to show him that in 1 or 2 generations, knowing the dogs that I'm going to use, I can get to the biggest freaking dog, the biggest freaking bone without being a retard dog.
Okay, and that was, you said it was big bones?
And I start to produce this, bigger bone, but still functional, still smart, still looking like a bully.
Yeah.
And later in time, man, in another show, I found this guy out of his country, and I straight him, and of course I talked to him in a different way, and I told him, listen, he's talking all trash, and it's not bad. And I don't want to tell the people you were talking, the people that you were talking about so bad. If I let them know, brother, they will go to your country and get you.
I was about to say, I don't know if you know the hornet's nest you just turned up.
But people don't know really history, honestly, and unfortunately, they dare say a lot of bullshit that is not true. Like dogs being skinny back then, or even today, if you have a dog that is on a classic, oh my God, it's like you have cancer.
There's like, oh, you have a classic. I'm like, really? This is the baddest classic ever. Like they just don't even know.
Yeah, people don't know. Well, like today, I love. For some people, Hangman is a classic. Oh my God, how he can be a classic.
Just
You know,
beautiful.
that's crazy. I love Hangman. I
Mm-hmm.
love Skywalker.
Oof, the dog.
Um,
Yeah, I remember him
Yes.
too.
I don't know if you guys seen Duali.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Duali. He's freaking a beautiful poetry, brother.
Looking
I
dog.
can't tell you a dog that glides in the ring like Hangman.
Ah.
He had the best
Yeah, he
movement.
did.
100%.
My God. I seen him win nationals in person.
Oh,
And
you
what was
cried. You
that,
and I were
23
both
or
like teared up. We're
24?
like, oh my God, this is so good.
I mean, I was emotional, man, and I was fired up, dude. And I'll tell you
Mhm.
what, you hear people talk about how the top line doesn't move when they walk and all that, but he was just floating like if you covered his feet, he wouldn't he looked like he was floating,
Uh,
No.
you could put a glass. You could put
So
a cup on
smooth,
that booty.
man.
You wouldn't have gone nowhere.
Yeah, insane.
So smooth.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that dog.
I am too. And their owner too. His
Yeah,
owner
no, super nice
produced him.
people.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Like
Dean's a great guy, man.
yeah,
His
Hangman,
family, he's got a great family.
Skywalker, Duali, Frank the Tank. I don't know if you saw him at
I've
Nationals.
seen him.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I love Frank the Tank, and same Aaron is a super nice guy.
I really like
Baroque,
Skywalker.
Baroque
Oh,
from
going
the
for
lady
Yeah.
broke.
Linda.
Who?
Baroque.
Broke.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. My accent gets in the way, guys.
Yeah,
No, no,
going for
no.
broke.
Linda's dog.
Yeah.
The tri dog. The bear. Like not too many
Yeah.
years ago. All these dogs are super duper nice. To
Yeah.
me, those are really the American bully.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, and then I wanted to kind of point this out because a couple people were bringing this dog up when you were talking about like, oh, you want him big. I can make you that and still make it functional. Then you hit him with this.
Yes. 105 pounds, 107 pounds. Functional, him and
Yeah.
the whole entire litter. I kept all the sisters.
Yeah.
And,
Nice.
and
Nice.
they all super duper. They move nice. They act right.
Yeah.
Actually, that guy is my guard dog. Actually, that's why he doesn't do too good in the ring because he actually,
He's protective. He's
yeah,
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his sisters are marshmallows. But
So how many sisters did he have? How many sisters did you keep?
4. I kept the whole litter.
Nice.
You find 3 of them in my website.
Wow.
The 4th one is with my cousin. His daughter fell in love, and
Yeah.
I give it to him. But
How are you gonna
That's
fight
what I'm talking about.
Man,
but
you gotta keep
I kept them all. I kept them all because
Yeah.
and I just did an inbreeding with him and his mother.
Oh
Guys.
my gosh.
Guys, no flaws. No flaws.
No.
So far,
The pup.
no flaws.
How
3.5
how
months,
how old are the puppies?
3.5, and so far,
3.5 months.
they look beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
So far they look beautiful, and I'm not a big fan of inbreeding.
Right.
I've done it a few times in my life, but always investigating a lot. But I went for it because I knew the leader of Toscana. I saw it. My friend did that breeding. I saw the mother of Toscana. My friend did that breeding. I saw the mother
Yeah.
of Toscana, of the mother of Toscana. So I saw all those generations. So I knew what was behind the mother of Toscana, that it was bred to
Yeah.
Samson. And then the same thing with the father, with Optimus, the same thing. I saw his leader. I actually wanted to purchase the one of the sisters, but I was late. But later I ended up with Optimus. My friend gave it to me actually as a present. Yeah,
Nice.
imagine. That was a crazy present, brother. Actually,
That's crazy.
Toscana,
I need better
and Optimus,
friends. I need better
That's
friends.
like, I know, dude. Damn. That's
yeah,
the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, that's the Servan Kennels, Dr. Alfonso Servin. Insane, man. Pure heart.
Yeah.
He gave me, I told him when he was giving, because I always love him. I wanted to have these sisters, but I couldn't. And then one day he's like, man, you want them? I go, yeah. I thought we were going to do business. But he's like, no, it's yours. And you always talk about
Wow.
Toscana too. And I was like,
That's what's up.
what are you giving me, right? And he's like,
Mhm.
yeah. And you know that, I mean, these are like super expensive animals.
Yeah.
We both understand the business. And he's like, no, it's yours.
Wow.
So yeah, I was blessed.
That's
I was blessed.
real. That's real.
So I knew Optimus, the leader of Optimus, and I knew the father of Optimus, and which is Grand Champion Messi, and I knew, like pretty much all the breedings that Dr. Servan did with Optimus. I pretty much witnessed that, and they were all super nice dogs. So that's
Yeah.
why and some other reasons. That's why I decided to do, and I was confident, and thank God, God was in my side, because you can be as confident as you want, and you might get a dog,
Yeah.
later with puppies with eye in the middle of the forehead, but
Yeah.
you know, but no, it came out super nice, man. 6 puppies so far. They all look super good, flat backs, good angulations.
You
Then
keeping the whole
now,
litter?
no. I kept one female and one male.
Aha.
Okay.
One female and one male. One female.
Stri-
The other females went to Florida, and 2 of them went to pet homes, and one of them went to a showroom. A person that is going to be showing the puppy.
Go home. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
See, that's another thing that I don't do, like a lot of kennels do, and I don't blame them. They try to sell to kennels and they show the dogs,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is fine. I prefer pet homes, to be honest with you.
Yeah. They're loved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
life. I have a
Yeah.
kennel,
So
so
you kept 3 of his sisters. You inbred him to his mom. You kept a male and a female off of that breeding.
yes.
I like what
And
you're
you,
doing. I
you know what,
respect
brother?
you so much. Yes.
Brother, I lack bone. Like I lacked it. I have it right here.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
yeah, in
Exactly.
spades, I'd
Yeah.
say.
And to build off it
You
like
got
you
it.
are that's perfect. That's exact. People that are listening, if you
Mhm.
have a dog that gives you everything you're looking for, especially with the knowledge that he had of the mom, of the dad, because a lot of people sit there and say, always inbreed if you're going to do inbreed, dad to daughter, not
Yeah.
son to mom. But he saw the dogs, he saw
Yep.
the health of them, he saw
This
the
generation.
pedigrees in real life, and
You've
then
been
Yeah.
he
working with
did an
blood for
inbreeding.
decades.
That's how to do inbreeding correctly, and then to keep all of the sisters of him. I'm interested to see how you're going to breed them. I'm tuned in.
Brother,
I am very much tuned in.
they're monsters. I mean, they actually more bully than him on females.
Yeah.
Check
Gosh.
them, check them in
How old are
my website.
they?
They
How old
monsters,
are
bro. They
they?
are a year and a half, a year and 7 months. How old is this guy?
Okay, so you're getting close. You're getting close to start pairing them up. Okay.
Oh, he's almost 2 years. My wife is saying now, but
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah,
Hey, Marco, you know what, man? I did that breeding a long time ago, man. It didn't work out for me
Nice.
like that. It didn't work out for me.
eek.
So
man, I know a lot of people who
Doesn't
done
always.
similar stuff, but I was confident. Once again, God
Yeah.
help me. It's nothing
Yeah.
without God. But I was
I love
confident
that.
because I knew all these generations in the back. I was
Yeah.
there with some of them there, like so. They were not my breedings, but I am very tight with Dr. Alfonso Serene, and so that's why I did it. Because if I had to read pedigrees, no.
Yeah.
If I cannot really follow the family tree really close, where
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
the dog, it does not matter how old they are, but I can check them
Yeah.
and like how many were
I
in the
like
litter,
that.
how many were good, how many were just okay, you
Hmm.
know. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's the only way, brother. It's the only way. The
Yes.
only way. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
if you know the top and bottom real well, and far enough back where you feel comfortable.
Brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. He
Yeah,
knows like
it's
that's
like
what I'm taught. Educated,
the
educated.
people that say, like you said, you know, you do it just a few times in your whole breeding career of a lifetime. The reason why is because it's very rarely that the stars align just right where you're like, you know what, we
100%.
could do this
I don't
time.
know what
You
you're
know,
doing. You gotta
Yeah.
know.
100%. You know, if I don't trust what you know, like it doesn't matter how beautiful is the dog. If I don't trust the pedigree, which I hardly ever,
Yeah.
you know, I won't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah.
There's no way. I you know, in 20 something years, this is my third inbreed.
Yeah.
Mm,
Is it your
okay.
first mom son inbreed?
Um, First mom son. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
so I
Hey,
did
Marco, I got a question. So you have all
Go
these
ahead.
frozen straws. You said you have 16 dogs
Yeah.
that are frozen. You have 3 females that are sisters to those. What's it going to take for you to use one of those frozen
That's a good question.
collections?
Okay.
And do you have anything in the works? Because I could see.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great question.
Yeah. I'm barely like. See, I have my traditional dogs, and I have this new
Yeah.
stuff that I'm doing for the last 3.5
Yeah.
years, right? So, and I already start to, you know,
You know where the merge is going to take place. You know where the
yes,
merge is going to take place.
yeah, I
Yeah.
start fusing them. You know, I already start
Yeah.
fusing them in the last 6 months, and so far, good. You
That's what
know,
I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking.
so far good. So I'm planning to go a little further up with these, combinations,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna put, all the old
Your old
dogs.
back in the new. Yeah.
Damn. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I really, really love
That's
that.
that's what I'm talking about.
You
Yes,
know,
Oh my
sir.
goodness, look at his face.
all
Oh,
the,
more puppies, please.
yeah, So when I get a little further up, because
Yeah.
I'm using dogs and they were not mine. So I have my like Lee Wu and his daughters and 9, 10 generations top and bottom. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
Okay, but those are my traditional dogs. They're When I say traditional, I'm not saying these are like they're like in bone or anything,
Yeah.
but they're smaller, because I always, I was always identified, and it's, I never wanted to get away from the packet because I'm known for the packet, and now I'm
Yeah.
stepping on new waters, which is the standard,
Yeah.
So now I'm putting these two lines together,
Yeah.
but I'm already on my third generation on the new blood that I'm working.
Nice.
So I'm
Nice.
making my own outcross. I don't know if
Yeah.
Heck
you
yeah.
understand.
That in and of itself is a big
Slow
flag.
and steady to
Right?
make an outcross that many generations.
Yeah. So
Like that's
I'm making, brother, and I'm making my own outcross, and I already had my few things that didn't come out good in the beginning, but I don't use that. That's why I do my own
yeah.
outcross, and now it's
Nice.
getting solid, and now I'm fusing.
Yeah.
So because people just tell you, oh no, he's the best, and he's been producing super good, but you can't see really, like
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I'm getting, once again, I already have. I'm getting these butterflies, because it's new stuff, it's new stuff.
Yeah.
I'm stepping now
Dude,
on
it's just
100-pounder dogs. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Then 80, 85. When my dogs used to be 72, 75, and that was like heavy for me.
Right. That was the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, my bitch is 45 to 52 to 55. Now I have bitches that are 80 pounds. So,
Yeah.
but they still move and they're still alert, and they still have good angulation. That is so freaking hard nowadays because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
lost it. That's a
That's
serious
one
answer.
thing that has always been so important to me. Like I build them from the back to the front. I want all my dogs to have good rears. I'm not gonna compromise on that. I just
Get
like
that.
I build a lot of things as I go, but I'm not building rears. I want to have nice rears from the
Yeah.
Right.
beginning.
You don't have to be rebuilding from.
I'll
It's
tell you what, Marco, it gets me super excited, man, watching you tell these stories and talk about what all you're working on and to see how fired up you get after as long as you've been doing this. I love it, man.
thank you.
It's inspiring to see you get still so into it. I really
No,
Right.
like that. Yeah.
no, thank you guys. No, I'm brother. I love it, honestly. It's a
I
lot of
know
Yeah.
work,
you do.
but I love it. It keeps me young. I love it. It's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do it well.
and it's an endless thing. That's the beautiful thing of it.
Yeah.
It's an
I
Yeah.
endless.
like something else that I picked up that you said, and you said it a few different ways along the way so far, but you have used all the tools available from way back when
Mm-hmm.
to try to be able to have all the insight you could on a breeding, from progesterones to genetic tests to, you have done that from the very beginning, and I've always said myself that why not use all you can use to
True.
look at it from as many angles as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just makes sense to utilize the tools. You know, me and a friend of mine, Jamie Sweet, were talking, and she said, when I see what all's available now, I wonder when I reverse engineer what I did along the way, like how many generations I could have saved myself so much trouble if I just would have used all the tools that we have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's so much right now.
Right now.
Right now, there's so much.
So much, man.
There's so much. I mean, we're so ahead with all this
I'm a
stuff.
big I'm a big believer in it, man. I've had 26 dogs come through my program, and I have 26 embark tests on every dog I have is embarked. It's something that I believe in. I think it's a valuable tool. It's not the end all be all. You have to breed the phenotype as well,
Oh yeah.
but I'm a big fan of them working together, pheno and genotype. So
100%.
Gotta have both.
100%.
Yeah.
I believe it's super. You can to use all the tools, and starting with the real dog. Because I talked to someone not long ago. I don't remember what show. But the thing is that she would. They were telling me, it's like, oh no, we did this test and that test of my dog is super important. I'm like, yeah, super important. But I was looking at the dog. I was like, man, but your dogs are pretty much pit bulls. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, don't waste your money.
you gotta do both, man.
Yeah, you gotta do both. You gotta have the dog, and yes, invest.
Mhm.
Invest.
The dog's gotta have the breed type to begin with, but it's so important to know what's under the hood, and what you're
Mm-hmm.
working with. You can really get a lot of insight, man.
Oh yeah.
Like I just did an outcross breeding, and the entire litter is from 10 to 15 in the COI, right?
Yeah.
So I can still go back in, but
Yes.
you know, uh, the dad is like a 26.
Mm.
So I can still go back in, but I wouldn't know that for sure if I didn't genetic test like I have.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's that's such a huge tool. Years ago, someone from overseas wanted to have a breeding with one of the bitches that I purchased for my program. I didn't produce her, but I knew she was loaded with the same dog many times. So when this guy from overseas contacted me, he's like, "Man, Marco, I have the of the same bloodline. I have a fantastic dog, and the dog did look good, overdone, but still very nice. Okay." And I go, "Okay, let's do it." I say yes in the beginning, and we did the breeding. She didn't take, so he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it," because he collects the semen here in LA, but he lives in a different country. So, and he made me sign such a way that I can like take the semen out without any problem. He's like, "No, don't worry about it. Next time, she comes and hit, just do it." But it gave me time to really investigate more. And my bitch had this bitch that I purchased had the same dog in 9 generations, 24 or 25 times. Okay.
Gosh.
So imagine how congested that was blood. Okay. That blood was super congested.
Yeah.
And then I check him out.
Yeah.
And he was 30 something, 30. I remember that together, there were almost 60 times the same dog on 9 generations.
Oh
Mercy.
my God.
Okay. And when I did later in time, when I did a koi with dogs that had her, because I did end up using her, but
Yeah.
with my dogs, and they had no relation whatsoever with that bloodline.
Right.
I got the test. She showed up with 40 something percent of,
Wow.
imagine. So that was going to
Yeah.
be a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Maybe dogs with 5
Too
legs
concentrated.
or 2 tails.
That's a hit. Yeah.
We
4
talked,
eyeballs.
for example, on here about, just an example that, like, say you have a 10 pup litter, and I've myself have had a litter with a swing of 10 points on a COI
Yeah,
from a 9 to a 19, right?
yeah,
Or whatever it was. So if you bred for certain traits and you're wanting to incorporate those traits, that's why you did the breeding. You're trying to bring in those traits, right?
yes,
And then you don't have genetic tests, so you pick based on phenotype alone, and you sell the puppy that has the highest probability of recreating those traits because you don't know the COI of the dogs in the litter.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
you sold your two highest probabilities of recreating what you spent the money on the stud for,
Trying to create. Yeah.
and don't even know it because you don't want to spend $100. I don't understand it,
Yeah,
but
100%.
that's when somebody explained it to me like that in the beginning. That was the breakthrough for me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
no, it's true. And I think like when it comes to that phenotype, also, I like to touch a subject. People, they're so into like just using the same family members to produce or to lack that look, okay,
Mhm.
to lack it up. And when you talk about dogs with open, how do you say, when he doesn't have repeated animals,
Scatterbred.
yeah, scatter,
Yeah.
and they see that the dog has a scatterbred, they're so afraid. But
Yep.
they're really, it's like, oh man, no, he's scatterbred. And I know famous dogs and they don't use them because they're scatterbred. I'm like, what the hell,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
But if that dog is being bred carefully, because that's how I did it with Paco in the beginning. I wouldn't breed to no bitch, none of my dogs that is not the same style, and they didn't have the same blood. But if it's not the same style,
Hey, got a phone call.
Oh,
Man, we
Yeah.
lost him again.
Ah,
Hey, he
yeah,
was on it right there, man.
yeah.
yeah. When he comes back, let's let him completely finish this because I am so keyed in on
but,
this.
but
Hey, and then also,
Here it
hey,
is.
I do
yeah,
want to answer all the questions after. Ask the questions, but yeah, go ahead, Marco.
yeah. If they were not the same style, I wouldn't breed to them.
Right.
That's how I did it, and that's why for the longest time, like wherever you will, anywhere, any show, you will see a dog that comes from my dogs or from me, from my kennel. They will say, "Hey, is that a Suarez?" Because I always bred to the
Style.
same style of dog,
Mm-hmm.
scatterbred. Later in time, I did type my blood a little more.
Right.
Yes, but I think you can have super good results and not sacrificing health you know, because the tighter it is, you know what's happening. You know, less puppies,
Right.
less sperm. Uh, you know, a lot of things come together with that stuff. You know, tied in too much.
Sure.
I think it's healthy, and if you can just like choose dogs and they have the same style that you want to produce, or you know, like just do that, just that, you know, just search who has a dog with the same cranium than mine, or like you know longer legs, because you know that's another thing. Today dogs have very short legs, especially in front. They're massive trunks, massive bodies, massive necks, massive heads, and you know I've seen it. So now it's more than ever. You know, I
Short upper arm.
yes, that they're almost like the elbow is pretty much connected to the shoulder
Mhm.
blade. You know,
Yeah.
It's essentially
so they're
like
like
dwarfism. Like
you
it's
know
yeah.
so
No, really,
Yeah.
no, that it actually is.
you know so. But if you find dogs and they're the same style of the dog, I would just use that. You know, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
the other day I mentioned to a buddy of mine who comes kind of often. He breeds too, and I mentioned a couple of dogs that I like, and he's like, "Man, he has nothing of your stuff or nothing of." I'm like, "That's exactly what I want," but it's very
I
similar to my
love that
stuff.
style. Yeah.
Very similar to my stuff. That's those are the genes that I want for you know to open nice windows so they can these genes can breed. You know, like
Mhm.
Nice.
you
Yeah.
know.
So
So
what you're saying is you're matching, in some cases you're matching scatterbred dogs that have a similar look to each other, where their phenotypes line up together well because they're similar looking dogs.
Mhm.
phenotype to phenotype.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yes.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Also very important.
Mhm.
Yes.
Dogs in front of you, and then
Yeah.
looking for an
Going.
outcross, a dog that's similar, and letting your blood breathe.
Yeah.
I'm with you. This is some good talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't lose the look. You
No,
don't lose what
well,
you
yeah.
Exactly.
already achieved. You actually even liken it up too without
Yeah.
losing health, without losing
Yes.
all this.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's common to have a litter of like 4, 5, 3, 2. If you get 6 puppies, you're celebrating, you know? Like shit, man.
Uh-huh.
I got a 11 puppy litter. I was like, holy shit, it's been some time that I don't have that. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, it's like people don't talk about it, but that's the truth, guys. That's the truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the
We
truth,
shrink in our
man.
litters, you know?
I wouldn't know what to do if I had a 5 or 6 pup litter. I maybe one day I'll be so lucky.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
the new see, but that's normal nowadays, brother.
With
Yeah.
that level of inbreeding, yes. Yeah, you start
That's
dwindling
normal
more
because
in
we
size.
are,
Mhm.
you know, people say, oh, Marco, you know, outcross to this dog. And then I check the dog and it's like, man, that's not an outcross. He's not my line, or he's not any of the lines that I have in my line. He's a different line, but he's like freaking 10 times the same dog on freaking 4 generations. So he is already
Yeah.
clubbed up with whatever
Yeah.
he is. So I don't consider that an outcross. He's gonna bring me all his shit that you know he collected. You know?
To
Yeah.
me, that sounds scary, man. Because you got somebody's tightened up something so tight that may not be what you want, even if
Yep.
that dog right there is what you want.
Yeah. You know, most
That's
likely I'm gonna
scary,
get
man.
you know heart problems or whatever. You know?
Yeah, you're gonna get
Hmm.
a bunch of bum tickers in there. It's
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
man.
but it's tough to keep these dogs like really like healthy and functional today. It is tough. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yes.
You know, some
Yes,
people. I was telling you the other day when we were on the phone, Amanda, that you know, a guy told me, "Hey, man, I thought you didn't like Gotti because you know, I went through your website and I saw a dog, a male and a female, and have you know Gotti." I go, "Yeah, it has Gotti, but where?" And he said, "Well, you Gotti line now." I go, "Gotti line? Why? I'm Suarez all the way. Why Gotti line?" He's like, you use Gotti. I go, freaking what generation? It's like freaking 16 or 18 freaking grandparents and one time Gotti, and you're gonna call a Gotti line my line? I mean, it's like, you know,
Like
how about
so many dogs go back to like Razor
Yeah.
or
it's like
Gotti or whatever. And
how
Yeah.
about the rest
format.
of the genes? You know, like
Mhm.
that don't exist.
Like literally, you have to like scroll and be like, okay, and
You
that
know,
generation.
it's like
And
so
done.
shit like that. You know, but you know, we do what we can nowadays.
Mm.
I truly avoid certain bloods because I wasn't agree back then, neither now. But it's in many pedigrees, and the dogs that I see today that they have those dogs in there, they are a way better expression. They're already being filtered, they're already being shaped, they're already being worked. So to me, even though that they might have dogs that I don't like in the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, whatever generation, man, sometimes I have to just like say, hey, it's all right. I have to, you know,
Yeah.
they're already being filtered. Um, it's like Hangman. Hangman is a gorgeous, gorgeous freaking dog. And somebody told me, hey, I saw you congratulating Hangman, and you kicked me out of your registry because I had Miyagi. And I go, yes, I remember. And there were two guys, and but this guy
Yes.
told me that, and he's like, yeah, Hangman has a Miyagi. I go, but do you see Miyagi on him?
Yeah. I like
I don't
that.
see a freaking resemblance, nothing that
Yeah.
shows Miyagi on that.
Yes.
He's a beautiful expression of the breed.
Yes.
So the people who's been breeding these dogs behind, they have done their job. So I'm congratulating that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
that.
It's far back enough in the pedigree that it doesn't even, it's a non-factor at this point. So it's just one of those things where, I mean, give flowers when they're due. And the beautiful thing about Hangman is he produces too. That's
Yeah, and guys, I hear about certain dogs that today they call them. I mean, our people are so used to not seeing angulation that when they see a dog that is like very well angulated, they say over angulated.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
freaking crazy, and I'm listening to that. And I'm like, what the hell? That dog is not over angulated, and they create that ghost around that dog, spreading that word that that dog is over angulated when the dog has a freaking beautiful angulation.
Yeah.
A powerful, rear going forward, but people are so used to not seeing angulation, seeing maybe like angulation of 15 degrees.
yeah. Some people don't even know how to identify good angulation because they've never seen it before, or that it's so
Worried about the
rare
front,
that
worried about extreme
they're
features.
so worried about the fronts. Yeah.
That's like high rears, man. You see high
Mhm.
rears now, like it's not even something they look at. It's not even like it has nothing to do with what the judge
No, it's normal.
decides. Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
It's normal. It's normal.
It's normal, man, and
Yeah,
I hate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Not my favorite.
That's
yeah,
something I really don't like, man. I just don't like it. I don't
yeah.
like it.
It's normal. I mentioned a dog that is well known, and I like him a lot. And I actually, like couple times that I judge him, I give him the best in show. And at one point I mentioned that to a friend of mine. I go, man, I might gonna use this guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but he's over angulated, Marco. I'm like, holy shit. Where are you
Here we
getting
go.
that from? And it's just for like what he hears, like what people talk. I'm like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is not true. That is not true. But it's where we are. I mean, and it's people get used to not seeing angulation.
Yeah.
People get
Well,
used to.
they also don't know how to tell whether it's a short upper arm or the bad angulation or what. They can't look at what they see in front of them and need somebody else to tell them what it is.
Yeah. Now,
Particularly a good thing for a judge to do.
or what we have another thing with these dogs with straight legs. If you look at their hocks, they're very short. Very short hocks. So they look like a stripper, with high heels. And
What an
honestly,
analogy.
and it's
Fair.
because if you pay attention to this. Pay attention, please.
Yeah.
Look at the hocks of the dogs and they move the straightest in the rear. Teeny tiny hocks.
Yeah.
It's another thing that we've been losing. You don't have
losing that turn to stifle too.
Yep.
Easily.
Losing the forechest a lot too.
Yeah.
Don't see the dogs with the good forechest in the front hardly.
No. It's I don't know. I enjoy judging, but sometimes it's a little tough, when you have to explain why do they
Oh,
lose.
sure.
Yeah.
But now I will say this though, we do have some questions in the comments, and actually perfectly timed just now. Paula, she says, because it's in regards to judging. She said, when judging, what do you put the most emphasis on? I'm not going to say the rest of the comment because obviously it's very targeted. But
Head,
It's where the breed starts.
most
okay.
identifying feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the American Bully well put together. It reflects other dogs too.
Yeah,
Like if we're gonna go
absolutely.
just as a correctness, it can be a non-stuff. It can be a pit bull,
Yeah,
just massive, just bigger. But it can be also a type of mastiff. So um, the head is where it starts. If you don't have the
yes.
head, you have a correct dog of a different breed.
100%.
There we go.
If you don't have the head, it's a beautiful animal, most like it, well put together. I'm sure it's functional, blah, 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 but it's a different breed.
Without that.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
not yet. It's not yet. Maybe it's in a transition, but it's not yet an American Bully.
Yeah, I agree, man. There's parts of the American Bully head that set it apart from any other breed.
So what's the
Oh,
next thing besides the head? What's the next thing? Because I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. What's the next thing that you're looking at for to identify as an American Bully, especially as they enter the ring, judging an American Bully? What's the next thing?
Movement. They have to have the right length of legs.
that's right.
Okay.
We're missing that. We have a bunch of midgets today. And no, we do.
Yeah.
And some of them are famous, but they move like something else. They don't
Yeah.
they don't have a full stroke. They have movement of a different breed.
Mhm.
They're
Like if
massive,
you were to ask them,
but a lot of these dogs, they have very short legs, and it's common now too. It's common. For a while I was starting to get that too.
you have to keep at it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Figure it out.
talking real talk. Real talk. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I like
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
Guys,
But-
I mean, I breed often enough to stumble with pretty much everything.
Sure.
Okay.
And I
But
like-
that's the thing, you're willing to admit it. You're willing to actually dissect it and go into it and just be like, yeah, I this has happened in my breeding program. So here's what I did to combat it. But
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it happened. It absolutely
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, when I talk to breeders that I know they breed a lot, and they say, "Oh, I never get this, I never get that." Honestly, I don't want to talk to that person no more. It does no matter. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Like,
You're
I
not
don't
talking
know.
real.
blind to each
Yeah.
other like that. I'm not willing to waste my time like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Filtering what they're saying.
You know,
Mhm,
it's like we stumble with a lot of stuff. It's like, hey, you can, and it's nothing wrong with it. You can stumble with a lot of problems, but if the majority of your product is well put together and healthy, you're good.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to tell me that 99.9 of the stuff that you do is super close to perfection, you're a liar. Or you just breed once every 5 years, and you're lucky that
Yeah.
you get some nice
Right,
stuff. And
yeah.
most likely you have purchased a good dog from a kennel and another good dog from a kennel, and you're lucky to use a dog that already been bred well. So you're lucky to be able to have a good litter. So
Mhm. Oh, for sure, for sure.
so no, the head, and then definitely a good length of extremities.
Yeah.
Good.
And what's after
Front.
that? What's the third? And I love that you went to movement right after head. I love that because
Movement
it
is
should
super
be a
impossible.
functional 100%.
Yeah, movement is to me. So like today, it's almost impossible to find good movement, because we inject so many different breeds into the breed that it moves like something else.
Yeah.
But the third will be. I don't know. Another thing that we don't have nowadays is like a good drop in the chest.
Yeah, because
A
Yeah.
lot of lift. Yeah, they're very high.
Yeah.
Even though they have short legs, but still the chest should be kind of like a tier.
I love it.
We don't have that. You know, very seldom you see it. Very seldom you see it. You know, but before all dogs used to have. Look at Hef. Look at Kamali had beautiful drop. There's quite a few. You know. And today look at Dwally. Dwally has a gorgeous. Yes, drop.
Gosh.
Vintage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, so
No, perfect timing. Perfect.
yeah, so there's, you know, because to me those things are important. You know, they're you know, then you have an American Bull in front of you. You know, starting with the head. You know,
I really like that dog, man.
he's a bad boy.
Yeah, he is.
Also, the insertion of the tails. Nowadays, most of these dogs have like the insertion, like they're a car. You know, like on top of the back. You know, like look at like an antenna in my VW. You know, um, you know, so
Yeah.
you don't see that 1.5 inch drop, and then you know the base of the tail, you know, comes out. You don't see that. No, you know, difficult. You
Yeah.
know, there's many things. We disrespect the breed in such a way. I don't want to use other words. That it is. It's going to take a little while to fix this if there is a way to fix. You know,
Yeah.
I strongly believe that we need to open the books again to bring the roots back to the front. At least, okay, whatever you add with your dog, perfect. Nothing wrong with putting 50% of the, or 25% of the original roots back in it. Imagine,
Yeah.
because most of these breeders of Amstaff and you know, like they don't, not on the pit bulls, but on the Amstaff, they hardly ever tie the blood. They hardly ever, you know? So it's health.
I believe it.
No, it's health. Even more with the staffies. There's no way. You know, they're very strict.
Yes. No, those are, yeah, that is a very, very tight
You know?
breed. There's
Yeah.
shows.
You know? So yeah, what other questions, guys?
Okay, so let's see here. Now this
Somebody
one,
just has to.
well,
ahead,
so I'm
Amanda.
starting from the very top because there's people that have been asking questions for a while now. Now this question, it comes from Gretchen, so I'm trying to make sure that I word it right. It says her question is, how do you combat exaggerating and touching up, so to speak, of the not so perfect dog and correcting faults in a photograph, and then you see the dog in person? I mean, in all reality, I mean, that's just that. I think that really, Gretchen, goes to integrity, and it stresses the importance of actually going to these shows and putting hands on these dogs and never trusting the photo, because
100%.
yeah, people are going to touch the dogs up. They're going to angle everything the way they want to. They're going to light everything that they want to. They will use AI. So you have to get out and put hands on these dogs, just like the judges do. You're going to have to be your own judge to some degree when you're picking these studs or these prospects.
Yeah, it's a must to see the dog in person, especially if you're going to be using it. You know,
Yes.
because you know you got AI today, and you can do whatever you want. You know, you can transform the picture any way you want. You know,
Yeah.
but the thing is that in reality, it's not really what the other person is seeing. So when they use it, they don't want to get nothing close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like what you said earlier too, Mark. I'm gonna hit on this. You were talking about, other productions off that dog if you're gonna bring in a stud. You were talking about litter mates, you were talking about aunts, uncles, litter mates of those, litter mates of the dads, things like that. Like you really, really research, then
Have
put
to.
your hands on, the stud. Absolutely, 100%. Knowing
Yeah.
exactly what you're bringing into your bloodline.
Yes, you have to, because you're gonna get a pretty good idea of all the styles and the health and
Yeah.
what kind of flaws, and there's flaws that you might not be afraid to encounter, and there's flaws that you really gonna be afraid because there's gonna take like 2-3 generations to get rid of them. You know, there's some flaws that I'm not afraid, some flaws that I am afraid, you
Yeah.
know. So, and different kennels, different experiences, you know.
Oh, certainly.
You know, if you tell me, oh, Marco, you know, undershots, I'm not afraid of undershots, you know. I mean, you use a dog or a bitch or a dog that it didn't have anything in that litter,
Mhm.
or and the parents didn't have anything in their litter, most likely one breeding, you're not gonna get nothing. No, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun, you know.
Nice. Yeah.
And and,
Um,
and remember, there is flaws that they were always there, and the breeds that this breed comes from, they
yep.
were also
Foundations.
fighting with that.
Mm-hmm.
Amstaff, the pit bull, the staffy, also they have their problems. And so some problems are naturally there because, you know, this is from the family tree kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But uh, there's flaws and comes from a different breed,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Oh, for sure.
and,
Oh,
and
for
there's
sure.
flaws and they come from a different breed that they're flaws in our breed, but they're not flaws in their breed.
Right.
Like the
They're
rear
wreaking
angulation.
havoc in ours, and yet in their own,
Like
it's
the rear
like an
angulation, you
afterthought.
use a dog that has too much presence of bulldog, and it has like 0 or 10 or 15 degrees of angulation. Brother, you're talking about a breed. That breed was never bred to have angulation. So you put in
Yeah.
50% on your line of a dog
Yeah.
that it's gonna
That's
you
triangulation. Yeah,
dumping
absolutely.
it. You
Yep.
gonna get, that to erase that. That's freaking 60, 70 years of people doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All the genes gonna have the same thing, straight legs in the rear,
Yep. Oh,
and you
yeah.
just put it on your dog.
Oops.
Yeah.
So some stuff we can deal with, and some
Right.
stuff is scary.
Yeah. Some stuff is going to be, it's going to be generations worth of work to try to eradicate.
Yeah.
Now, so Sean had a question not too long ago. He said what he was asking, and I think it's because he might not have caught some of the earlier part of the conversation where it says, what is your stance of old school looking dogs versus the modern dogs, and which is your personal favorite? Yeah, you go ahead and reiterate that for Mr. Sean there.
Okay, my brother Sean. To me, there's no old school, new school. It's just the right school. It's just the right dog. And if I'm gonna tell you the right dog in my book, okay, is Hangman, Skywalker, Dwally, Frank the Tank, Baroque, the Bear. I think that's plenty picture to figure it out where I'm
Yeah.
standing. You know,
Mhm.
so, and I'm not mentioning any of my dogs. I'm mentioning other dogs.
I love that. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Definitely.
that's where I'm at. I think today there's some gorgeous dogs like the ones that I mentioned that to me they're freaking poetry. Beautiful
Yeah.
poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's dogs and they're not really they don't belong to the breed no more. They don't. They
Yeah.
have so much infusion or something else that they
Yeah.
pretty much represent in my
Yeah.
eyes a different breed. As might
Yeah.
as well as should have started with like I told you, Amanda, I should have started maybe with oldies and refine it to what I see today instead of starting with Amstaff and Pitbulls and
Yeah.
the
It's a
bullies.
transition for sure.
You
No,
know,
for sure.
so I think some dogs that don't belong to the breed no more. And there's
Yeah.
plenty of dogs and there are American bullies. And I have a great respect for, those breeders and their program. And, now, to which is on. If you want to breed a dog that has 3 legs and 1 eye in the middle of the forehead, that's your deal.
Yeah.
That's your
Hey,
deal.
you
Two
gotta
eyes
have a
sitting on
vision
top
for
of each
your
other.
program, right?
Yes, that's your deal. And it's gonna sound like kind of like controversial, but I'm glad all this exists because it gives us a specific niche or our own spot that it makes it special. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's people who like those super overdone dogs.
Yeah,
I'm
appetite.
beautiful. I'm beautiful. That's perfect. With me, it's fine. I have many friends and they breed other breeds that, you know, they're not exactly what I would touch, you know, there's no way, but hey, that's what they like. That's what they do. And it works for them in every single way. Beautiful, you know, blessings, my blessings. But when it comes to my American bullies, they have no spot.
Yeah.
You know, I will never touch them.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, they ask me, I don't want to mention names, but there's famous dogs that they represent something else. And they told me, you know, man, I know you like my dog. I'm like, freaking yes, I do. I do. And if you give me that dog, I take him, but he's going to be on my couch with my children. He's not going to be in my,
Yeah.
he's not going to be in my program.
He's
You know?
darling.
He's not
Yeah.
gonna be in my program because I consider that dog a different breed. You know, he's
Yeah.
already went beyond. You know,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
trying to do a club, but it's too much work. And I told Amanda, I told a buddy of mine who has a registry, you know, and he's pretty serious. And I told him, listen, I want to do a club where we're gonna have only dogs with full DNA.
Yeah.
But we have to, the people who's gonna put together this club have to be the OGs.
Yeah.
At least 3 or
100%.
4. Okay? Why the OGs? Because we don't gonna deny that there was some cheating also in the beginning. We don't gonna deny that. Okay? Of course, but before, if somebody tells you that your dog reflects a little bit of a bulldog, man, that would be, they better tell you. They better mention your mother than telling you than had bulldog. Today it's okay. But back then,
Yeah.
if somebody say, no, man, I see a little bit of bulldog. Oh, what? That was freaking
That's it.
no good.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay? Nowadays, they don't even, they promote a dog that doesn't have any terrier. So what do you have? What do you get from an Amstaff, Pitbull, Staffy? What do you get? 3 freaking warriors. What are you expecting to get? Well, however, that's another 20 cents. So, you know, so what I talked too much. What I was saying.
You
No,
were in
no,
good company. You were in good company, my dude. We probably touched like 3 subjects after one question.
Yeah, no, I was saying something. Baby, what I was before that? What I was saying before this? I was touching something important. So I guess I was talking about, you know, how the dog should look. You know, people do what they want, you know. I mean, there's very few people that really gonna respect and be
Yeah.
conscious about what they
You were
produce.
talking about the OGs making the breed
Oh my
club.
shit! Yes, I'm sorry.
There it was.
Yes. Okay.
There's that memory.
Okay. Yes, man. And I was telling him,
I
you
have
know,
my moments. You know,
and I was like, we have to do a club where we DNA these dogs, and we have to decide the tolerance of the presence of a bulldog, a mastiff, or chihuahua, or cocker spaniel, whatever they've been cheating with. Okay,
Yeah.
because we come from the past, and brother, it was very little of this in some dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play like holy times, like it was everything perfect back then. There was some cheating. Okay, there always was some cheating. Even people that today they try to represent the breed, like, oh man, you know, I defend the breed with my life. Cheaters. So
You know there's bulldog in there.
you know, so
Yeah.
I told this guy, okay, so we have to figure it out if we all agree in like how much of the other breeds, like
Yeah. What's the ratio look like? What is
5%?
yeah.
10?
how much can be presented in our breed before it's too much?
Yeah, in our club,
one
like
package.
15%, and then if it's 15, okay, then it's freaking 85 terrier. Okay, I'm staff, pitbull, staffy, what happened if you do that? So you got only a little percentage of whatever breed it is, bulldog, English, Frenchie, or the big dogs, freaking mastiff or whatever.
Mastiff.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
on the
American
fourth,
Bulldog.
if you keep the same, this shit is trying to fall down. If you keep the same percentage for 4 generations, that mastiff, that Frenchie, that English is gonna start to look like one type of dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those terriers, the same thing. Same thing. They're gonna start to look. It's like if you read a book of reproduction of coys or any of the thing. It's the same thing. And then all the terriers will start to take one type of look too. And if they
Yeah.
all breed in the same direction, in no time, they're all gonna be, I know the word in Spanish is homogeneo, which means that they're all gonna look alike, like the way it should
Yeah.
be.
oh, okay. There we go.
You understand what I'm saying?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's only a percentage and it's respected. So if they all breed with each other, I'm not talking about 4 people. I'm talking 4 OGs deciding this, but the club being from many people that is willing to do the DNA. So that would put a really pure dog. That will make a real dog that is gonna be consistently looking the same.
Because every dog in the club would have the right range of breed type and nothing too far this or too far that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this guy is a very knowledgeable guy too that I was talking to, and he's like, man, your proposition is novel, it's good, it's very, very good, but you're gonna end up with a club with 3 people. Nobody's gonna do that.
Right.
I don't know, man. I would be on board. I tell you, because I think, and someone asked a question way later that tied to this, so we might as well throw it in there. But it was talking about like they're expecting things in certain registries that are far beyond the standard, and it's gone. Like, at which point is it too much?
Exactly. And
You know.
I said something to Amanda, because I've been doing all this stuff for a long time. But now, when you send a dog for DNA, breed DNA, it comes out American Bully, right? But this is new. Before, it will come out like the percentage
Yeah.
of whatever breeds
Right.
your dog is.
It's a blind test.
Now, no.
No.
It just says
Yeah. You
American
tell
Bully.
it's an American Bully. Yeah. Hey, what they always ask you when you submit the
Call them.
sample, which is like, what's the dog breed that your dog is, and you can say
Yeah,
American
it's like,
Bully.
okay, how did
And
you
it's just gonna
guys
say that it
came
is.
out with American Bully? Like, what's the percentage?
So
Yeah.
you're saying,
Dog.
so you called them.
Yes. What's the percentage? Well, if he has this and if he has that, if he has Mastiff, if he has Bulldog, American Bully. It's like percentage. Okay, perfect. If you guys think that he has even like freaking, I don't know, an eagle in there, perfect. What's the percentage?
There's a capybara mixed in there somewhere.
Yeah, he flies. These freaking dogs fly nowadays. So what's the percentage?
Yeah.
There's no percentage.
Oh my God.
So there's no percentage. So how are you gonna just say you have an American Bully when your dog is 40% Bulldog, 50% Amstaff, and 10% something else?
So
And
according to them, you're saying, according to them, it wouldn't matter if it was 15% Mastiff and 60% Bulldog and 20% Amstaff, or any of those numbers were rearranged. It could
dig
be
into
all
it, please.
Amstaff, and it didn't matter. It was still American Bully.
Yes, dig into it. You're gonna be so surprised.
That's crazy, man.
Like when they literally, some of the breeds that they will accept as percentages within that total, you're just like, the Neapolitan Mastiff. Why is that even in here? Like,
Yeah.
it'll freak you out a little bit. You're just like, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Immediately erase that one little factor. Get it out of here. Like, that shouldn't exist in this breed. But
And if you send like old blood, okay, it's gonna come out different. Was no the cheating of the last 20 years. If you send like old stuff that already was called American Bully, it's gonna come out like, I tell you because I've done it. It's gonna come up like 90% of this and 10% of that, but it's gonna come out stuff, or stuffy, or people, and it's gonna come out like, but it's gonna come out the other breed, or it's gonna come out that little percentage is gonna say American Bully, which means it's a freaking salad there.
Lord.
So you think it would take a club beyond that to get a rein on the percentages there?
Yes, I think it would be fair, so that way you can call it American Bully, and that's the reason why we don't get it recognized, but like the big entities like AKC, and even the big entities that recognize us, they still laugh at us behind your back. I'm talking about the big entities that they didn't have.
Yeah, I get what you're really saying there is like they hate the way we do it, but they love our dogs. But if we could just tighten up there, we could get on their level.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It will be just like the Knights, with defending the breed. Really. Like, no bullshit involved, no money involved. Thank you, baby. No, it's just making a pure freaking dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
What would be the percentage? I give you that as a homework.
Yay. Considering, no, I mean, it's a question that needs to be asked, and it's something that kind of having that breed club to hold, everyone accountable and to set the actual standards, but to something that is going to get it back to where it needs to be, especially for longevity's sake and for health purposes. But yeah, I mean, it's going to actually take a dedicated breed club, not just a kennel club, but a breed club itself.
Yeah, and it's very confusing the way they handle this stuff, when it comes to that part. But as a club, I think we will be able to reach something novel, to do something novel, to reach something good.
Yeah.
And I think in a short time, we'll have a dog that it will look, they pretty much will look all the same stuff.
Yeah. It'd have a consistency to it that's undeniable.
Yeah. I mean, on four generations already of that 15% or whatever, it's going to become one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like you said, the numbers would probably be low until it worked, and then when it worked, it would be through the roof.
Yes. And but who's willing to do that? I asked few people honestly, and people say, hey man, I'm with you, blah blah blah, but then when I call them again, they don't answer. So I'm like, I'm not gonna put my energy on that, and he's a friend of mine. He knows a lot of people too, and I think he was very sincere, and he breeds right. And he's like, Marco, how many? You and I, and how many more guys, man? And then we're gonna be hated.
It's gonna be a very short-lived breed club.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be hated, Yeah. So I do my own thing.
Yeah.
I do my own thing, I have my own program, and I do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got beautiful dogs, brother, and you have left an undeniable mark on the breed all the way around, from judging to programs to Like you said, you here you are arguing with a guy in another country about what the American Bully is and isn't, and
Yeah.
he's got your dogs in his pedigree. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
You know,
An advocate. Such an advocate.
yeah, for
so
sure.
once again, this is something that is people ask me, so when you think you're gonna stop? I don't know, like maybe in a big scale. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna continue like in a big scale. I think, but I
Yeah.
don't think ever stop, honestly, because it's
I
never
love it.
perfect. You get close and then you find things.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, you enjoy it. It keeps you young. You're
Yeah.
having fun with it. So why
Uh,
stop?
so what else, guys? I want more questions. You guys letting me talk. I talk forever.
I know, but we love hearing you explain it.
We're all listening to every word.
I
Every
promise.
word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we are absorbing and soaking up. Somebody, I want to say it was Sean, had asked if you had the option to bring one dog back from the dead. If you could bring one dog back from the past that would be successful today, who would it be?
Today, because I know today they want like that extra bone.
Mm-hmm.
It will be either Victorious or Master Shifu. They both had a
Love
lot.
it.
Shifu
Yeah.
Bay.
Actually, at one point, I thought Master Shifu was a little bit too much.
He's a
Especially
little
Ahead of his
when he
time.
finished.
Ahead of his
When he,
time.
yeah,
It
when
was
he
about
hit 3
it was
years.
about 4 of us was wrong. We said Paco.
Yeah, but it's Paco would be too perfect for today, brother. They will call him like an Amstaff.
Yeah, they wouldn't have like. But look at him, beautiful.
Amstaff on steroids. But actually, he was a well-balanced dog, a
Yeah.
very well-balanced dog that create a line with him. I create a line that, so many national winners, champions, grand champions, the first champion of Mexico, Paco, actually Victoria's son. Victoria's son, then you got, lines in Chile, like the first champions in Chile, champions and grand champions, Suarez.
That's what's up.
Same Argentina, same many countries.
Wow.
All that from Paco and the program.
Yeah.
How,
Crazy.
so all these, there's many, and I don't want to mention their name, but they know who, you guys maybe know who they are. Many famous kennels. Their foundation are from my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
From my house. Many in different countries, not only here. But once I give you a dog, any of you guys, I don't expect anything. I do not expect loyalty. I do not expect you to be throwing my name out there. Actually, I don't care. I do what I do. I'm just hope that you're gonna be happy with what you got from me. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't worry for those things no more. I remember people fighting. I see my dogs in pedigrees and they don't say Suarez because I used to be naive. I used to just give the paper.
Yeah.
Without Suarez.
No.
Oh yeah. There's plenty dogs out there that they don't say Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care. I never made a fuss about it. Never, it's okay. Whoever understands dogs, they just have to see who's the mother, who's the father, and they're gonna know. Okay, this guy.
Yeah. Can't run from it.
Yeah, but I just care to make a balanced, nice dog that is gonna live long, a long life.
Mm-hmm.
Many of my dogs that die at 14, 15, like Victorious, one of them. Many old. I have
Hell, I
dogs.
think, Denzel ended up living 14, maybe
Yep.
older. I mean,
A bunch of them. I mean, I got a guy from Florida called me not long ago to see if I want to breed, but obviously he doesn't understand about breeding, and his bitch is 13 years old.
Dang.
From my kennel. And I'm like, man, you can't breed that bitch no more.
Yeah. Retire her. Retire
He
immediately.
doesn't understand that. He never bred her. he never bred her, so
Oh
all
my
of a sudden
gosh.
he felt like,
Lord.
oh man, she's getting old. I wanna get something from her. I'm like, nah, too late, super late.
Yeah, that's a good life. That's a good lifespan though. 13 years. That's healthy. That's very, very healthy. And
Yeah.
obviously, she's in good health to even for him to consider that,
Oh yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
not
No,
ethically right. But yeah,
yeah. She. But what else you guys want to talk about? Please
Hey,
shoot. Please shoot.
before
I
you
don't
go
do
any
this too
further,
often.
hey, look,
I
before you go
love
any
it.
further, man,
Mhm.
I'm glad I got a chance to see all them dogs, man, like Popco
Yes.
and Little Row,
Oh, I envy
Health,
you.
Short Shot. I got to see all them dogs, man.
Short shot. That's
Yep,
another fucking gorgeous dog from the
yep,
past.
yep,
Like short shot wasn't no means a little dog, brother.
yep,
Oh,
By no means. He was a nice, well balanced, solid animal.
yep.
You
That's
know.
man.
Yeah.
I envy that, like, because all we have, like, are pictures. And so, like, actually, a friend of ours, Tank Sinatra, he's made a habit of finding these older pictures of these older dogs from the beginning, and he'll post them up in these nostalgia, posts. And you sit there and look at them, it's like, damn, that's bully. Yeah, that's bully,
Yeah.
Um, it can't be denied. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of, old school dogs that, God, you do wish they'd come back.
Super nice dogs.
Super
Thick
nice.
dogs with bone, with everything, girth, everything.
yep,
But they
everything.
look the way they should have looked. You
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
Sean right here asked, why did you never get into XLs?
Because I engage on packets. I'm the one who came out with packets.
Yeah.
Nobody else did. And don't let nobody tell you a different story. Back then, there were all big dogs, the standards and the big dogs. And
Mhm.
I decided to make smaller dogs. I traveled the country purchasing the smallest bitches from leaders that people didn't want it. But,
Nice.
Yeah. Oh,
make
look at
sure
this
that,
run. Yeah.
yeah, the runs. And as long as they were correct and with the nice, the style
Hmm.
that I was looking for, and that's how I did it. And then later in time, it became very popular, a super compact dog. So
Yeah.
That's another
I
reason you got the
Like
longevity
a
there too, getting all
breathing.
those runts probably.
yes, and
Yeah.
so I never got into the XLs, not because I didn't like them. I like them. I like standards and I like XLs. It's just got into the packets and I stayed there for many, many years. It's just now
Yeah.
that I'm doing standards,
A lot
But
of people say the standard class is struggling right now because, what was the standard class just a few years ago, is now a classic, according to what people say, not to the standard. The standard hasn't changed, but the expectation has.
yes, yes,
And, what they're calling a standard now, it's extreme.
yeah, we get in there. We got there a long time ago.
Yeah. And
You
so
know?
I seen a dog at the last show I went to, um, was really, really a standard, man, showing as a classic and did really well as a classic. But to me, was the standard. But I don't know.
Yeah, but
It's kind of,
that's the way. That's what's going on right now. Yeah, I seen
Mm.
dogs in classic that I'm like, man, this dog doesn't belong here. But now is how they judge them.
Yeah.
Now this, but no, but going back to the past, all these different combinations and of kennels, and they used to produce big, nice dogs like Rock and
mhm.
Ruby combination,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the Gino Vegas combination. My brother, for sure, you heard about all those combinations.
Oh
All
yeah.
these dogs were, all these beautiful dogs came out, like and Diego Thing, remember Thing? He used to be an
Yeah.
insane producer,
Man,
insane freaking producer. You
that boy
know,
bad. Yes.
yeah,
He was Brindle. He was Brindle, wasn't he?
yes, beautiful
Yep.
blueprint, beautiful dog, brother.
Yep.
We got Kai, you got Manu. Manu is
Manuya.
from like the super old school, and
Mhm.
I saw Manu in a show in Cali. Cassidy Santos was handling him, brother, and that dog had already like maybe he was already like 7 years, and he beat us all. He was a gorgeous
God,
freaking thing,
that's what's up.
Man,
Yeah.
you know, gorgeous.
you
And
know,
it couldn't deny it.
I bet you've got more straws of ghosts from the past than anybody. I bet there's nobody around that has that variety of them old famous dogs that you do, Marco.
Yeah, I collect them from early, brother.
Yeah,
I collect them from early.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that if
that's really cool, man.
you know, because if ever something goes wrong, I can still bring back a good, good chunk of the blood.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
sure.
a
Kind of
good
feel like you should.
yeah. You know,
That's your way of standing on principle, really.
You can just about bring back the starting lineup.
Take them off the bench, coach.
you know,
Hey, bring back the dream team.
man.
Mm-hmm.
You
The
know,
B-beam team, actually.
so yeah, I I like a lot of dogs today, but I think we need to clean things up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple of registries that are trying to do that, but they're not popular. They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
popular, and they're not popular because of that. You know,
exactly.
'Cause they don't choose the overdone dogs. They don't go with the fashion. You know.
Right.
Well, it's because breeding is a complicated thing, and they're trying to take it away from the people that know how complicated it is instead of putting it back in their hands. But I don't know how long it'll last that way. I think breeding should be complicated. It's not some simple thing that you can
No,
fly by night.
no.
There's a lot of moving parts, man, and I think right now, like you said, right now it's on this thing where everything is too much,
Mhm.
but I don't think that'll last. I don't think it can. It'll get
Yeah.
too messy.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's tough, brother. We're very split. We're very split.
Mhm.
One thing that I miss about the past is it was a different feeling, a different energy.
Different vibe.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
we used to hang out like competing with each other.
Barbecues and yeah.
We used to compete like super tough, brother. Like it was serious competition because there were not that many shows. So
Mhm.
whenever there
Yeah.
was a show, it was huge. It
Yep.
was huge, and then the people from Mexico would come, and the man from all
Yeah.
over. Little
Yeah.
shows for us was a little show, and we used to get like freaking 200 dogs, 250,
Wow.
275.
Yeah.
And we used to compete against each other, but it was fun. I mean, like I remember a couple dogs, and they were my serious competition in the ring, and sometimes I will beat them, and sometimes they will beat me. But if they beat me on the next class, I will be cheering for them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
vice versa, and vice versa. And it was like all my friends and
Mhm.
family will be cheering for his dog because he beat me. So freaking, he better take it all the way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Exactly.
I'm cheering
You
for you
know?
for the rest of the tournament, my man. Yep.
Yeah. So it was different. It was very different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sean had asked about that earlier, especially with the BKC, because obviously, there's a lot of questions as far as like, how have things changed, not just with the dogs themselves, which someone has another question, which I hope it's not going to be like a 30-minute question, because it feels like it really does need to be a longer conversation, which I don't think we have time for. But with Sean's question being the BKC and how are those shows like? I mean, it's been said before, and it's absolutely true on multiple people's opinions and memories that it was,
I
well, it was
have
more
memories.
competitive. It's like,
I mean, I went to all of them.
mhm,
They were gigantic. Nothing to compare today. Absolutely nothing. Gigantic. Gigantic.
it's ridiculous.
Um, Almost, I don't know what's the word. I mean, it was just gigantic. You know, thousands of people.
Epic.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
hundreds of dogs, like all the different lines, like the ones that they used to breed, Gotti lines, Red Sky, Restor's Edge, everybody will show up, you know.
Mhm.
And kennels, and they were huge back then with a lot of dogs, like, and another kennel that used to have like beautiful freaking dogs, big, and thick, you know, Eddie Lomelli with his dogs,
Mm.
you know, and he used to show up with so many dogs, and they're all impressive,
Yeah.
functional monsters.
Mhm.
I don't know. Eh, those shows were humongous.
Yeah.
They were huge. They were
I
huge
would
for
love
real.
to have seen that, man. Just that kind of, where just so many dogs and so many people and all that competition and all the dogs look good and like I wish I could have been there.
Oh, yeah. I have a great deal of envy for people like, Marco and Bruce who've, you know, actually physically seen these dogs that we can only talk about and seen these events that, you know, you're telling us, this is a crazy, wild, different experience. And, it's something that we'll never have.
I don't think it will happen again.
Yeah.
I think it was the beginning of the movement, and Larry had the right connections and the right ethics, because his shows were well put together, no funny stuff. Serious judges, you know. And it was the beginning of the movement, so everybody wanted to show their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There were no
Yeah.
shows, only his shows.
And that's
So they
Larry
were,
Duran from BKC, correct?
yeah. So they were, yes.
Yeah.
So they were gigantic. They were gigantic. You know.
Yeah.
As I will, like, I'm trying to compare, like, I don't know, like I don't know, man. They were huge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
huge,
Do
huge.
you feel like there was more appreciation than there was hate or disdain back then at those events?
Come again with that.
Do you feel like those old school events had a little bit more mutual admiration? Even like, obviously we know you guys were competing. You said you guys were very competitive, but do you feel like there was more mutual adoration for
100%,
one another's dogs than there is today?
100%. Yes. You know, and we all, even though we were very competitive, we end up going all together to eat and have
Yeah.
fun and to hang out in somebody's house, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a different
It's weird. I don't think it's across the board like that now, but for me, just my journey, it has been like that for me with
yeah,
these people right here on the screen from the beginning.
that's
We've,
nice.
it's always been great. We've always hung out and talk shit and talk dogs and eat good food and do it, all over the place. And that's,
Mhm.
and I don't know. It is that for me. I
Just
just
like
wish the
that.
integrity of breeding
Mhm.
was what it once was. Cause I think now there are good circles within our community,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
and from company to breeding, but for the betterment of our breed, I just wish that it tightened up a little bit. I think it's going in so many directions so fast. It's hard to control it, and it's gonna come off the rails if they're not careful. And I think it
Yeah.
is a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's already been happening. You know, there's some extreme stuff, brother, that people are not, they're not talking about. You know, dogs, and they're producing really messed up stuff, and they're still going around. You know,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
problems that before didn't exist.
Right. These are newer issues. Yeah, for
New
sure.
new issues that you hear about it, or you see them, and you're like, "What, man? How did you get this?"
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I never seen, like, weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I think it should be some type of control. You know,
Yeah.
it's difficult to police what people, they do when they're at home. It's
Well,
very
one of the things Dave said that I actually he said this on an interview on this show that I really liked is it, and it gave me some perspective because in them trying to figure out what to do about this type of thing, he said you can't police the community
okay.
Can't
because
push the
because
morale.
and everybody's gonna say fuck you, I'm not doing that, whatever.
Mhm.
And everybody wants to jump ship. They're like, if you're gonna try to regulate, you're not going to tell me what to do with my dogs and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but the other thing, so instead of doing that, they came from the other angle and was like, made this premium pedigree, and they're doing these things to motivate breeders to step to another level.
Yeah.
And then it becomes this elite thing where if you're good enough, then you can do these things.
Mhm.
And then it motivates like, okay, yeah, I can get on that level. Then I'm upping my game.
Yeah.
And upping my game puts me in this category where there's more refinements.
Mhm.
Yes.
But that's the smarter way than to say like you can't do this, you can't, and when he said it, it really clicked. Y'all remember that? When he described it to us like that, we were all like, yep,
Yeah.
that's how you got to do it. Because as soon as you go barking orders about telling people what not to do and what to do, they're just not
Yeah.
going to listen, so
They're not
uh,
going to listen. You're right, and I understand what he's saying, but
it
we'll
needs to
see.
be done. It needs to be
We'll,
Yeah.
controlled, though.
we'll see in 5 years how many people get those titles. I
I
love to see
know.
it. I
I
love.
hope it
Right?
picks up, man. I
I
hope
love
it
to see that.
does.
And I understand. I mean, I had a registry in the past. I know exactly. I mean, I've been there. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
handling, breeding, you name it. I also own a registry in the past, and I know exactly if you're too straight, you don't sell, brother. You don't.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 You
Isn't that
don't.
sad?
If you police the breed, if somebody's registering freaking 12 dogs and the secretary calls and like, please, we're going through your, processing your papers. Please send us pictures of the entire litter, and they cannot produce that. And they
Yeah.
tell you, oh, well, 7 of them die. When we sent the papers, a few days ago, they were still alive. So yeah, we have 3. No, just register 3. You know what's going to happen? It's not going to register with you again.
Yep. You're too strict. You have too many rules,
It's not going to
and
register with you.
you expect too high of a standard that they know
This is just to mention one thing. If you
that
want to
they're not willing to
police
do.
what's going on, you know,
Yep.
because then there's, you get 2 puppies and you have 10 papers, so you do whatever the hell you want, you know.
Yeah.
This is why
Yeah.
we try to stay positive. We try to educate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the work I do and that we do in other places, the stuff I do with QBN and all that. We just try to get people to better understand the breed and breeding and breed type and genetics so that people learn, because as they learn, they grow, as they develop, they can handle more, and maybe it goes in the right direction. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
No.
that's all we can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Spread the good. I mean, spread the good word, and hopefully some people get it. And for the better of our breed.
Oh, for
Hopefully.
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just conscious. Ethics. To me, that's the main thing. Ethics,
Yes.
conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
breeding ethics yeah, it's one of those things that it's a concept that a lot of people, they don't really, I don't even know if they understand what that means. But it is definitely something that, is probably the only way that this breed is going to perpetuate.
Yeah. Before you make any decision at all, you should be bouncing it around to make sure it's ethical.
Yeah.
yes,
And that's like you said, it's just people are not doing that.
people is trusting you with whatever you're gonna give them. So
Hmm.
you should be able to like feel good about your product.
Mhm.
You know.
That's right. That's right, man.
You should be able to, sleep right. I don't know.
Should be proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To be proud of your product.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does not matter if it's gonna be the next national winner or a happy dog, in a couch, living with the family, just like But you want a nice, healthy animal that represents well the breed. Shoot me questions, guys. I mean,
Well, so the question that keeps popping up, it's a repeat question.
Thank you.
And it is a question that it's going to take an hour to dissect, that we've actually been dissecting piece by piece, comment by comment throughout the entire show. It is a question regarding essentially what can be considered like hypertype, the extremes versus the written standard, and your feelings on the matter. We've been talking about this literally all night, every single time we bring up certain extremes being obviously a bad thing, and that off-standard dogs shouldn't be rewarded in the ring, nor should they be bred. We have been stating this over and over again in many different verbiage and different comments. I mean, so essentially the question can be answered throughout the entirety of the show on multiple occasions, saying the extremes are dangerous. If you don't know what you're doing, and you're breeding outside of the breed type to a degree where you are sacrificing the dog's health, longevity, and movement, that is bad. And we do not like it.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been touching on that all night in multiple different.
No, I know people who do understand dogs. I know they know dogs. They know dogs. And they used to have nice dogs, but they change and they start to go with the flow. And all of a sudden, like they start to talk like it's a beautiful dog what they're looking at, and I'm looking at it, and I know that they know that it's not that dog that he's describing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I lost friendships with people that I actually love as friends, and I know that they have a lot of knowledge, but they're full of shit because they follow the money. And it's like, man, that shit is a bulldog. And you used to have a super nice dogs, but now it's this is what we need, this is what to better the breed. It's like, man, better the breed was already done. Better no, you're transforming the breed into something else, and you're following the fashions because there's money there.
Yeah.
But that's not the real dog. So, but if you like it, do it. It's fine. It's fine with me. It's fine with me.
You got your lane.
I don't understand how we ever got past the breed standard. It's still the standard. I mean, it's the rule of thumb. I don't understand how it's understood that there are expectations beyond the standard. I don't get that. I don't know how that ever happened. I know people want those things, but that has nothing to do with a confirmation show.
No.
Right.
And I don't know how it got so far out of bounds. I mean, we're talking confirmation now. I don't understand how things so far beyond what the written standard is become so accepted in a confirmation show.
100%, brother. But that's what we live in today.
I know.
That's what we live in today. And
see, with the oldie, what people want when they buy an oldie is not what they show in the oldie show, in the confirmation show.
I hear you.
They want the extreme. They want but the bully, it's a different thing. It's done a different way.
Yeah. There's it was touched on a second ago in the comments. Vision is it is kennel blindness at its best. It's you got to be careful with vision, because unless your vision is the actual breed standard and breeding to it, I don't know what you're doing.
No, I got friends and they show me a dog, and I'm like, man, this is a monster, but super overdone. You already went beyond, and they tell me, no, Marco, it's a tool. It's a tool.
Oh, breeding tools.
It's a tool. Next thing, they're in the ring fighting with the judge because they didn't win. And I'm like, man.
But the tool. Yeah,
I thought it
exactly.
was a tool, you know, like kind of like experimental, and I wasn't even agree with that shit. But hey, it's a tool. But now you want the tool to win? Come on, man. You know,
How many other breeds? This is not a joke, but how many other breeds do you think have breeding tools for their
Yep.
show dogs?
I think only us.
That's right.
You may have breeding tools when it comes to sporting dogs, sporting lines, working lines versus show lines. Yes, sure, absolutely. But it doesn't necessarily change as drastically as ours do the appearance of the
Yeah,
dog.
there's no debate in the other breeds of like, you think this is a show quality dog? Well, does it check the boxes of the standard? No. So the answer is no. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
then the American Bully, it's like, what do you mean my dog didn't win? I don't, you know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been winning all these shows, and why I didn't win with you? I mean, I've been beating everybody. I'm like, holy shit, yeah. Like, under who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think American Bully's different with that, man. It really is. There's so much range, and even in the judging too, man. I try to tip my hat to the judges, man, but a lot of times they expect different things, man, and it's not just personal preference. It's beyond that. The
Well, and
range,
then you touch on
the
things like
range.
personal preference, and here's something that's really that I found incredibly interesting. Joaquin from what was that? ABKC Nationals
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
This man,
Hangman.
if you saw the dogs that he produces versus the dogs he was picking in the ring, you would know that he doesn't pick his preference.
He
would know
surprised the hell out of me, and I freaking congratulate him, and I call him
Dissected.
You know, because he went to shows before when I used to go to Spain often to judge for ABKC, and then later in time for my registry. And he would bring the dogs on the show and say, man, I know this is not your style. And to me, it was like, man, these are like super overdone dogs, you know, like nice, but overdone. And when I saw what he did, the way he performed as a judge, and the choices he did, and ended up winning, I couldn't be any happier. I haven't been so. I don't step in the ring because, once again, let me say it, I don't want a bulldog winning over me. You know, if it's a good day, I don't want to say anything. But if it's a bad day, I'm gonna say, man, DNA the freaking dog, and I DNA mine, and let's see who is the American Bully.
Yeah.
And that was a hard lineup that he worked with.
You know, but going, you know, beyond that, and when I saw him choosing that dog, honestly, it was an ecstasy for me, and I couldn't believe it. It gave me hope. It gave me hope. It was
we were all there.
Like in that moment, reinstilled this.
It gave me hope. I'm like, holy shit! Now I'm gonna make a dog like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, we were all there. We were all there.
What an intense moment. I did not envy the choice he had to make between those final three, man, the down and back. I do not envy the decision he had to make because they were all good specimen.
Look, Marco, we were all right there at that national.
Yeah.
That was my first nationals.
Electric.
And I've seen a few since, and it was like, that was to me the example of like what I expect to see in the lineup, the judging, the competition, the whole thing. It was like
fairness.
It was, it was.
It was emotional. It was very emotional.
I was very happy. Honestly, I was very happy. I don't drink, but I wanted to get drunk that day. Honestly, I was
like shots.
For real. I was super happy because it did. It did solidify. I mean, what's the word? It did. There were many people that we were talking before that national, because, you know, they're like, let's go. And I'm like, man, no. You know, it's like the only good thing that it is I'm going to see a lot of old friends, but, you know, what is in the ring is not really my thing. And man, after that decision, honestly, I felt like, okay, so there's hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joaquin's a hell of a judge, and that was just one of those things that, again, when you look at what he produces, and then he's not like he's picking to the
No.
standard, not his
Yeah,
preference.
he put
Man,
his preference on the side and he went
flex.
to the standard.
Mm-hmm.
No, he put his preference to the side and he went to the standard. That's it. Simple. And he did it in the most amazing way, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and he made many of us like super duper happy, you know.
Yeah.
I got so fired up. I ain't gonna lie, man. I cried at that show. I
Good.
didn't cry like a baby, but I
Teared up,
teared up.
man.
I couldn't even talk, man. I was so fired up. Oh man, that was just I felt
No,
like this is my tribe, man. This is where I belong. I felt so I felt like I was in a moment in history at that show. I
You were.
really did.
100%,
Yeah.
You were.
100%. You know, yeah, I was extremely happy, brother. You know, and now it's like I wanted to go to nationals this year. You know, I have the dogs. I do. I don't want to sound big headed. That's why I didn't even mention shit, but you know, about my dogs or anything. But you know, but I do. It's just that my dog doesn't have the right attitude. You know, he chooses. But I'm gonna maybe put together something for the future where I'm gonna make sure that I work the dog. You know, and don't, because this dog is a guard dog. You know, I have two that they
Yeah.
can super perform, but both are kind of like guard dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I would love to see you get back into nationals, man.
if I go back, I will.
Hey, let me know. I'll be there.
Yeah, you know, it's there's people who tells me about this and that and this dog. Have you seen? I go, man, come to my house.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
house
I
is
see
like a
him.
Walmart, like a Walmart. Come to my house.
Like,
If I have to pick,
yeah.
yeah, if I have to pick you up from the airport, I pick you up from the airport. We hang out during the day. I show you my dogs, and then in the evening, I drop you back. It's no problem. And I tell that everybody, whoever
Mhm.
says like, I see this dog, Marco, but I tell you, it's like you haven't seen my freaking dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to go to that Walmart.
Yeah, man, anytime. You know,
Yeah, that'd be
and
great.
Always open.
And I don't, yeah, and I don't keep my dogs fat. My dogs have
Yeah.
what they need to have for, you know, to be that impressive animal, functional, but
Yeah.
impressive. You know, bone
Yeah.
head. You
Mhm.
know, not a freaking, you know, a lot of skin and round eyes and all that shit. No, I don't have that. So you know, but I'm always, and there's people who come, and I know there's people who come with bad faith, you know, I know. Then later after that, you see me with my freaking incidents going around my house after they leave, like freaking cleaning,
Yeah.
you know, like
Oh man, I wish my wife could have heard that, man.
I'm not lying, guys. Look, and I keep it close because I get people often here. Hold on, you know,
Oh,
Oh,
he's
if
really-
my wife could have heard that, y'all, about that incident, she would have lost it.
Oh,
That's what I'm
lying
talking
to you.
about.
It's like I know they come with bad faith, so I was like, shit. I'm like, I light up my thing. I was like, God, please,
Yeah.
whatever,
Bad
you
spirits.
know,
Get
go-
your ass out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I've done it a million times. My children
Keep
think
burning
that.
that white sage. I see you. I see you.
What
You
kind
know?
of incense you got there? Is that some Nag Champa or what do you got?
Yes. You know, and yeah, remember my wife is Chinese. So so you know, but I practice. I'm Catholic and I'm Buddhist, so I
Yeah.
practice. You know, the
Here we
philosophy. The philosophy of Buddha is you know my life.
It's a
But-
beautiful thing, man.
And so yes, they come, and I can tell when they come trying to see where they can, like, you know, give me a nice hook.
Yeah.
But I know, brother, I don't want to keep nothing in my house. There is nothing that I, you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, so.
Absolutely.
And there's beautiful people in comments like, man, what the hell? Your pictures are a piece of shit. Your dogs are insane.
Yeah. Why don't you get better pictures? These dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So, of course, I love when I hear that. You know, like, oh my
Mhm.
God, Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah. These
They don't-
pictures don't do justice. Yeah.
So, but that always, honestly, whenever somebody tells me, it's like, Marco, man, you have to see this dog. I say, beautiful. Yeah, come see my dog. I don't want to say nothing about my dogs. Just come see my dogs.
Yeah.
You know, and these dogs are not like, how can I say this? Like I work for this shit. You know,
Yeah.
I been
Yeah.
doing my homework. You know what I mean? I'm like writing. I mean, you know, I write every flow when I get my leaders. Like, okay, we have 7 puppies. I found this. We got this. It's the second time with this dog or with this bitch. You know, I got all
Nice.
my, you know, all my things. So I work for what I have. You know,
Absolutely. You
I
built
haven't
it
stumbled with
methodically.
it. You know,
Built
it's
it.
not like I stumble with it. And it's like I remember, you know, my haters from 2004, 2005. They used to say, "Oh no, that's a, you know, once Paco died, he's done." Now, if they're watching,
Huh. Like,
Look at me
That's
now.
right.
Look at
That's
me
right.
now.
Yeah.
show you.
now if they're watching, where are you guys?
Yeah. I love that.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
Many,
hard. It's going to be hard
many,
to see them from way up there.
yeah, many champions and grand champions, national winners, and many of these kennels have my blood. Out of 17 dogs, national winners, 11 have my bloodline somewhere in there. Some of them right in front. Their parents
Mhm.
are my dogs. So
Yep.
where are
Love
these
that.
guys? I used to have some good haters back then.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sure you did.
you know, so yeah, but you know, we work for this. You know, we write
Yes.
everything. You know, if the dogs have any type of problems, like the eyelashes going to the everything, we write it.
Nice.
Where
Well,
do we
brother,
come?
in my opinion, man, it's nothing short of legendary what you've done. And man, my hat's off to you, man. You are one of the true OGs. You have really put this shit together, man. You have changed the tide in your career with these dogs, man. It's really truly
Mhm.
impressive, man.
Thank
I'd love to see your dogs, and just it would blow my mind, I'm sure.
brother, anytime, please.
Yeah.
Invitation is there. You know, get a cheap ticket. You know, I any day is a good day for me. I work from home. I don't only do
I
my
love
dogs.
that.
I have other businesses, but I work from home. All I need is my computer, my phone, so you can come, we can hang out, we can go to Starbucks, have a cup of coffee. Just allow me to have maybe 45 minutes where I can answer a few things, you know, do my work, and then just hang out.
That's what's
Love it.
up,
You know,
man. I
I
would
Love
just
love
it.
that.
a friend of mine just came from New Zealand. A friend just, you know, he wanted to see the dogs
That's not a quick car ride.
before he invests his money. He wanted to see the dogs. He came.
Nice.
We hang out for a week. You know, I mean, and like that, many people, brother, many people,
Yeah.
many people. You know, I have some friends from South Africa. It's like, man, listen, it's gonna be super complicated. Make sure that you know what I have is what you like. That you know, I've been there. You know, there's a different trend over there. Come see my stuff before you invest any money or before you do anything.
Yep.
You know, frozen semen and all that stuff is a headache. It's prohibited. So, but there's ways. But you know, but it's like, come over. I'm more than happy. You know, it does not matter. Just what I'm saying. Get your ticket, brother. Come. You know,
Yeah.
That would
come.
be great, man. I'd love to talk to you more about that. I wanted to ask you a question about judging in other countries. So, do you feel like, as a breeder, that opened your eyes to what there is in the world as far as dogs, or did it confirm what you already knew? Or when you got to these other places, did you? Well, you probably seen your dogs a lot of times, but did it change your perspective at all to see it in so many different countries?
Um,
The American Bully.
See, this is what's going on in most of these countries, especially the ones that are very far away. Um, Whoever advertise the most is what they're gonna follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you go there, you're gonna see a lot of this one dog's production, good or bad one. If it's somebody who works a lot in media,
Hmm.
that's what they're gonna have,
Mm.
and they're all gonna have that. Even the small neighbor countries, they're gonna have the same thing when they show up. They're
Yeah.
gonna have the same thing. You know,
Well, they're following our MO here. You know, that's how we did it here. That's how, and I said earlier, those certain kennels, they put a lot of money and a lot of marketing at the right
Yeah.
time when the bully was just,
Yeah.
and,
Mhm.
and,
You
and
know,
it, you know, and even though the dogs were trash, they went from one end of the bully world to the other.
100%. You
Yeah.
know, 100%.
Yep.
I've been in many different situations, brother, where this one time, this was in Thailand, I think. Um, Huge show, good show. Um, this one guy showed up. I didn't know, but you know, he had a big freaking crowd. And it was a big show, but this guy had a crowd.
Yeah.
And for his dog, you know, so his dog didn't get shit. I'm sorry, he didn't get anything. You know, um,
Don't try
he
to
was,
try to edit yourself. Don't do that.
you know, he wasn't, you know, he
Mhm.
wasn't worth a third place or anything. So after that, there was a party at the house of one of the organizers. Huge party, very beautiful place, very nice people. They cook for us and everything. And he came. I didn't know exactly who the dog belonged to, but
Right.
the owner came. And you know, we were talking, and all of a sudden somebody tapped my shoulder, and he's like, can I ask you about my dog?" I go, "Sure thing." You know, I go, "If you have pictures of your, you know, dog," which I don't remember all the dogs. It was a big show. And he
Yeah.
I'm
said, "Oh,
here.
you know, I have a picture of my dog." Okay, brother. So he kept walking and getting away from the table because the house was huge, big garden, and we kept going away, and he started to like show me the pictures, and I look at the dog and I realized who the dog was. In the beginning I didn't, so that's why I kept walking,
Yeah.
but then I was like, oh, this dog. And then I saw the handler, you know, so I realized who the dog was.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of people were screaming for that handicap dog. And so he's like, "Man, you know, I didn't get not even third place." He's like, "How come?" And I go, "Well, you like your dog, right?" He's like, "Yes." "You love your dog?" "Yes." "So that's it." I go, "He's in the he's you know, as long as you like what you have, that's perfect. But he's not gonna win in the ring." And he
Yeah.
started to talk a lot of shit in his language. And he wasn't from Thailand. He was from a neighbor country, Malaysia. He was from
Mm.
Malaysia, next door. But he traveled with all his friends,
Wow.
and the dog was a hero in his town. I mean, he was obviously
Yeah. Everyone had
a
high
wealthy,
expectations for that dog.
yeah, obviously a wealthy man, and he for sure told everybody how much he paid. And he's like, and he told me, you know, he's like, "Do you know how much I paid for this dog? $40,000. This is like freaking 2011. So imagine that money back then. You know, $40,000, and you didn't give me not even third place. You know how much people love my dog in my town and my place." And he started to get all wired, and I was like, "Listen, I don't give a shit, man. Your dog is not gonna win. You know, you
Yeah.
purchase something you like." He's like, "I came from a famous breeder," and he told me the name of the breeder, and I was like, "Man, I don't care. You
Yeah.
purchase what you like. You spend your money the way you like it.
Mm-hmm.
But you came to, you know, for a ring. I mean, to compete in a ring, a confirmation show. It's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
win." All of a sudden, I hear all these freaking words, you know, like that I couldn't understand. I turned around and I had a pack. All his friends were
His
behind him.
friends. Yeah. Oh boy.
And I felt like, okay, I'm getting lynched. I'm getting my ass whooped here. So I start
That's
Yeah.
running.
how it
I
is.
I start to look at the walls, like they were tall, you know, very tall walls. I was like, I don't want to make it, you know. They don't, because I'm fast if I have to run. But I was like, you know, but it's like, no, these mother truckers, they're gonna kill me.
Yeah.
But thank God, the owner of the house kind of got the feeling that this guy was hurt with his people.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
came. He came with a bunch of people, but brother, I was going to get lynched because I didn't choose a handicap
Oh
dog. It was
my
a
God.
piece of
Yeah.
poop, you know. And it happens when you go out of the country. If the
Mm-hmm.
dog comes from a specific breeder that have done a big, you know, advertising, a good promotion on his dog,
People are gonna buy it.
they're
Gonna buy in.
expecting that, you know, you're gonna have like, yeah, like that dog is gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's delicate. It's very delicate how you explain them when they lose. You know, it's very important. Like I shoot few questions like to see the how much knowledge they have of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, dogs, and then I'm super careful how I explain why they lose,
Yeah.
why they
Yeah,
didn't
it's the
win.
same way with sports over there because they don't have as much to look at as we do here. So
Yeah.
the things that they do have, they're very serious about.
Yes, and they
Yeah.
think they have, you know, what it takes, and you know, and yeah, going there's some beautiful dogs, of course. I'm talking about the ones that they don't know what they have, you know. um
Yeah.
but yes, I have seen some insane gorgeous animals too, you know, out of the country. um but usually that is with people with more experience that they, you know,
Yeah.
like they know what they're doing, you know.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of new guys that they just follow, like here they follow, you know, whatever
Fads.
fashion. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's it's delicate, you know. It's not judging. To me is very serious, and you have to have tact. How do you,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know, explain
The
people what?
delivery is important.
Yeah, you know, how do you explain people why they lost and why the other dog is better? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I usually like fish a little bit, like to see how much knowledge, you know, they have. Like, oh, so you
Yep.
have dogs, you've been competing for a long time, you know. Just I kind of like throw some questions to see.
How am I going to have to explain this to
Yeah,
you?
is this guy gonna understand?
Using
Really?
recording, so
If
like
I
how
go
much you
really
borrow
like,
and
you
you
know,
don't.
if I really explain how it is really gonna understand, or he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any knowledge, and he loves his dog, and he's gonna think that I'm, you know, I'm bad. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
a lot
yeah,
of responsibility, man, to judge in
Yeah.
those environments.
it is. It is. You know, it is. I usually I like to give like a small kind of seminar before.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Like a little tutorial
you know, so that way they don't get upset when they lose and they know why they have lost.
because they know what the expectation was.
Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I've been in shows where people been breeding for a long time, or also what they told me, but they thought that, you know, undershot is fine. You know, some other people thinking that even bite is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you tell them, man, you know, we can tolerate that, but it's not perfect. You
Yeah.
know, scissors bite is perfect. No, scissors bite is a problem. You know, no,
Yeah.
you know, so it all depends how much knowledge they have of the breed.
Mhm.
You know, all depends. But yeah, you see some amazing dogs outside too, you know. But usually it's like whatever is been making a big noise here,
Yeah.
big noise, is what, you know, most of the
Yeah.
time is what
Follow
people
the
follow.
trend.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know,
That's what they want. Yeah.
so that's so. But it's fun, man. It's fun, you know. It's very fun. Um, you get to see a million things, but if you do your job, sometimes you're not gonna be too popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I'm not a crowd. I'm not a crowd pleaser. I'm not.
Good. You shouldn't be.
I'm not at all. You know, honestly, and I'm not an asshole either. I love the breed, and I like if you travel, I don't know, from a different country, or you travel 2 hours or 16 hours or whatever to come and be in front of me, I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna make sure that I'm fair to you.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, and I don't gonna follow no fashion. I don't care. I don't wanna get suggestions. Don't even try. You know, so I do my job. But you're not popular when you do your job. You're not that popular. They might
Yeah.
hold you.
One
This is
person
funny.
leaves happy.
Yeah, this is funny.
Mm-hmm. So
They
true.
might hold you in high respect. And we
Right.
always talk that with my wife. We always talk with my wife they can hold you like in the highest respect, like, oh, this guy is fucking serious. He's good and serious and this, but they won't choose you because they won't win
Yeah.
with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
The stuff they have, if they know they have too many, issues, they won't make it.
But at the end of the day, you didn't sacrifice anything that you can't get back, like integrity.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And depending on the crowd, I do. I like to do that kind of like introduction to like how the breed
Mhm.
should be and how the dog should be. So please don't put
Yeah.
a price, and
I think that's a good important thing. We did
Mhm.
that at this last show that
it is.
I got to apprentice at, and it's a registry I don't really deal with much, but I did get to learn a lot, and that was something I really liked that we did is give like a little tutorial, like what we expect in the ring and what what they're looking for and all that, and it kind of sets the stage, like you said, so that people are not so surprised when it's like,
Yes.
well,
It's,
we
it's,
told you what this was about and what
it,
we were expecting. This
it's,
is what the DQs are. This is what, your dog comes in here and it's doing this or it's doing that. We got a problem.
it helps a lot. Years ago, not here, but other places when I used to talk to whoever was throwing the show, and they explain me, oh, there's gonna come this group, Marco. We have to watch it. This group is like this, and they're gonna come with this other group, against this other group, like, and they start to explain me the politics there. I'm like, holy shit! Listen, I've been there twice, and that situation where they basically they're telling me that it's gonna be hell. So I'm like, look, I need to do a seminar. I freaking have to do a seminar. Tell everybody to show up 2 hours prior. I need at least 45 minutes. And that way I give a seminar, and I'm basically, I tell them, what I'm expecting. Basically, I tell them that I don't give a poop if they're millionaires or not, if they have purchased dogs and they're 50,000 or 100,000. I
Right.
basically tell them that I have no friends once I walk in the ring, and I do this often. I have no friends. Once I step in the ring, don't look at my face. I don't want to see no face trying to make me get in some type of compromise,
Yeah.
because you know me, or because we all friends, or because it's your daughter, or I don't look at faces.
Right.
I look at the dogs.
I
Yep.
like that.
So I don't. I honestly don't look at faces. You hardly ever. I don't. I don't care if it's like the most famous freaking handler, male or female, or it's like the daughter of the handler. I don't give a shit, brother. If it's a piece of shit dog, it's a
Yeah.
piece of shit. It's not gonna.
I ain't gonna do it. Yeah.
You know, and that makes you not too popular. You
Mhm.
know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but I'm not there to please the crowd or the fashion, or I
To
don't
do a
dance with no
job.
one. I'm on my own thing. I'm on
Hold the
my own.
breed standard.
Yeah, I'm on my own thing, and I'm happy like that. Honestly, I'm happy like that. I don't need nobody to come and give me a hug and say, "Man, you did a great job," because I choose a piece of shit animal. No, no way, no,
Yeah.
no. I don't care if I see long faces after. I don't. I know what I'm looking for. I know how the dog should be. Nobody's gonna teach me. No one is gonna teach me. No owner of a registry or anything, because I was there when they were doing their shit, and I was part of it. So I know all the bullshit behind, and I know what is
Mhm.
not. And I understand the business too. And I understand if you want to make a lot of business, you have to play stupid. So I don't play stupid.
No, no, you do
Yeah.
not. No, that's definitely an admirable quality. And even our friend Angel, who had the honor of being judged by you, he actually he was very very happy with the feedback that he'd gotten, and he even said that hearing you speak today and getting to know you and to know the depth of your experience made him feel really good about the feedback that you gave him. Like, so
Uh,
that's great. That's something.
awesome, awesome. No,
So on that note there, man, is there anything that you want to say in closing to close to let everybody know, like, hey, anything we left out tonight, anything in particular that you want to say to the people, like?
Um, I don't know. I felt pretty good with you guys. Thank you. I'm usually not.
Thank you.
I usually
I've
avoid this.
had a blast, dude.
Mhm.
I usually avoid. I'm very social on a personal basis.
Right. So this was outside of the normal
Yeah,
wheelhouse for
but I don't
sure.
like to expose myself on the open where people can attack me, and most likely they don't know animals. They don't know dogs.
Well, we
So
do
I
it
don't like
like
to.
family here, brother.
Yeah,
We just get up here and chit chat and talk dogs, and and everything went great tonight. We really enjoyed
yeah.
it.
But you understand, right? So,
Yeah.
but no, I felt very comfortable. It was actually very fun. There's a zillion
Good.
subjects we can still touch, but that will be, for another time.
We will
Oh
Um,
have
yeah,
you
we'd love
back.
to have you back on.
Yeah,
you
we'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, thank you. What else I can say? Whoever wants to experience Suarez Bulls, they can come to my house anytime, anytime. And honestly, this is not a challenge to anyone, but bring the best you have. Let's see what
I
happens.
like that.
Yes,
I
that can
love it.
I really, really respect that.
I mean, I see a lot of people talking a lot of stuff, man. And always when they refer about me, I hate it. It's like, no, he's old school. His dogs don't have girth because I'm always talking about correctness, correctness, correctness. It's like,
You
no,
whip out mega. He's like, no, sorry.
I'm gonna burst your bubble.
Mhm. Yep.
Come, bring me your best. And in a friendly way. And this is what I love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I love. So.
I love that.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I loved it, and thank you for giving me this space. Thank you for the love. I'm just someone who loves what he does, brother. I'm not better than nobody. I just like what I do. I have my own style, you know.
Hmm.
Within my style, I love what I do. You know.
I'm so
Um.
glad you do, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great.
Marco, I sent you a friend request, man.
Yeah, I'll
Already
be sending you one. I'll be sending you one tonight as well.
Yeah.
send it as a text. You know, Amanda, give him my number. Send it as a text because I can't see. It's full, that thing, and it doesn't
Oh, is
show.
it?
Ah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Yeah,
show.
Amanda,
So
send me
send it
his
as a
number.
no, send it as a message so that way he
Yeah,
can
as
go
a
to your
message.
profile
Yeah.
and friend you.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
can request
He's a
you.
messenger.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
When Amanda
guys.
puts a
All
number
right, guys.
on our
Yep.
chat,
Yeah. No,
I'll just
thank you,
send it that
Marco.
way.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Oh, we
much.
appreciate you
Hey,
guys.
All right,
it was
guys.
a pleasure, man. Hats
A,
off to you, brother.
a pleasure,
Peace out.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Uh,
God
Good night.
bless you
Good night,
guys. God
everybody.
bless you.
All right.
Bye bye.